But alright, hey. Enough of that shit, right? Let's get into the meat and the bones. Be right back. Gotta get food ready. Silent Outcast. Yeah, no worries, brother. Welcome, welcome. How's it going? We are so ready for the ASL. Oh, man. Effort. Snow versus Effort. It doesn't matter who wins here. It's gonna be fucking amazing. Like, oh my god. This is gonna be something else. Like, we thought yesterday's match was amazing. Oh boy, oh.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back.
What's up, Tasteless?
You guys, and we're here again. This is going to be Snow versus Effort in day 2 here in the ASL Season 20 round of 8.
We had an amazing match on day 1 of the round of 8.
Yeah, dude. Probably one of the best fucking days in the ASL.
What are you doing here? But man, going up to Game 7, I love series like that. I love series.
Thank you for the follow, Liquid Snake. How are you? Welcome to the stream.
Similar here today. I think Snow versus Effort. This could be a really close match. You know, Snow has been
TLC checking. What's up? How's it going?
Sulky lately.
TLC, best Discord in the world at this point, right? What do you think of the Discord, Liquid?
Play the game. He's
most active, amazing Discord I've ever been in.
Here he is, and every time he's here, I feel like he's in top form and has potential to win the whole tournament.
This could be the toughest match for Snow.
Hey, hope you're well. I'll be lurking in the shadows as I'm streaming too. Oh, really? You're a streamer? I'll shout you out, bro.
In some ways, he does seem to be the strongest and most
Everyone go check out Liquid Snake.
In the round of 8 for the RSL for what has been a very
unusual get us on the first try.
Round of 8.
There we
maybe
go.
The weirdest RSL round of 8 we've had in the last couple years. It's just not generally the lineup of players you would expect. There are so many big names that are missing here. To make it even stranger, Barracks moves on. Barracks actually manages to defeat Mini, which again makes the round of 4 that much
so crazy. There's a Terran in the round of fucking 24.
And look, I think
or there's a round of in the round of 4. It's not round of 24. Geez, round of 4.
He's very, very tough to play against. This guy was.
Dude, Barracks could take it on.
In one of the golden
if it's Barracks versus Effort, I think Barracks has a chance. If it's Barracks versus Snow, Barracks is fucked.
And there's a real chance Snow doesn't make it. But if Snow does make it, I think he is pretty much guaranteed to get in the finals.
Yeah.
I know Barracks beat Mini 4-3, but look, the reality is...
Yeah, the reality is Mini played so bad.
And I don't think that
it's just the saddest thing.
I definitely agree with your assessment there. If Snow wins here tonight, he goes to the finals. If Effort wins, I think Effort Barracks is actually a really nice match. I think that'll be a really interesting, probably close match. But yeah, here we go. It's Effort versus Snow. Hard to say who's going to take it.
Effort is smart enough to know that he does not want to let Snow get to Reavers. Like, everyone always lets Snow get to Reavers, and he just fucks you with Reavers. But he can't do anything else at that level. Wee, Evan Star. How are you? I'm good. How are you? Welcome, welcome.
Yesterday we saw
we're watching Starcraft Finals.
As Barracks
well,
succeeded in
the World Championship round of 8.
First time in his entire career.
Good here. Hell yeah. Good to hear.
Let's have a word.
But normally we do reading and writing. Today we're doing Brandon Sanderson lectures.
Hello.
And I'm a writer.
First up, we have Snow.
So I write short stories and
you said you wanted to
web novels, as well as a Final Fantasy inspired novel itself, which I'm currently working on.
I always show up having been
but
losing.
Starcraft is amazing, and it only happens twice a year for the ASL.
I look at this routine as a good thing, rather.
This is like.
You said the same thing.
The biggest thing in my life, Starcraft.
I bet that's why you see this as a good thing. Let's talk to Effort on the other side as well. As you watched the bracket draw on your stream, you were heard provocatively saying,
yeah, I watched Weapons today.
There is no way you're
fucking amazing movie. Oh my fucking god. Make movies great again. Holy shit.
I was
such great writing.
But it's a fact. Let's just have an entertaining match today. Got it. Now, Snow, you said yourself that the one matchup you need to overcome if you want to raise the trophy is versus Zerg. For this,
Because Reavers aren't
against
that,
Effort,
like, they're not
what
as
did you
good versus
focus on in
Zerg.
practice?
And Snow is just such a heavy Reaver player.
He's a really good player. And we are teammates as well. What will be important is just for me to do well, not get put on the back foot by my opponent. If I play what I want to play, I see this as a winnable game. Snow says what he plays himself will be important. Now, Effort is somebody who has shown tremendous force in extended series on stage. Recently in the ASL, he has 9 wins and 2 losses in extended series.
That's insane win-loss rate.
How would you rate an
Holy
extended
fuck.
series against Snow? Easy, mid, or difficult? If we just look at Snow's win rate, then it's easy.
But
I struggle against Protoss nowadays.
I'm not fond of this finals video.
So let's say mid to difficult.
Not too interested in
mid
it,
to difficult.
Evan.
Both of our players
Not interested in StarCraft
since the group selection ceremony. At that group selection ceremony, Snow said to Sean,
I
who was
see.
sitting next to him, Effort
What
is
type of games do you
irrelevant.
play, good
Just
sir?
pick him.
What are you more interested
And
in?
after the round of 8 bracket was drawn, whenever you two faced off against each other on stream, Effort said he will make it so Snow doesn't show his
Are
face
you a
in the
writer though,
ASL
Evan?
again.
Are you a writer?
They
Are
went
you a
back and
reader?
forth
Are you a
with their comments.
purveyor of words?
Given this
Fortnite,
back and forth
Helldivers,
provocation, a fierce
Marble
match
Rivers.
should be on the
No
cards.
Path of Exile?
Any chance we could hear some more of this banter ahead of the game? So let's say
No?
he beats me and goes to the
I
round of
see.
4. He gets seeded.
Yeah, I don't really play that many video games. I play Monster Hunter, I play like Souls-like games, I play Path of Exile.
Snow says he will make sure you don't have to worry
That's
about
usually what we do at the end of the
Effort.
stream to kind
Please
of
respond.
wind down at the end of the night.
When I was on break, he was irrelevant anyways. Like things are any easier now that I'm back. I'll show you why he's
I love how they
considered
shit
irrelevant.
talk each other. They're like, fuck it. No one cares about this guy.
I'm
Fuck
also
him.
curious about what score you're
I took Soul Key out. I'm gonna win the fucking championship. That's what Effort's
I'll win with
thinking.
a 4-1,
Fuck this.
perhaps 4-2.
If it's a Zerg vs Zerg
Snow
final,
predicts
it's like
a 4-1
it's
or a
just
4-2.
as probable for it to be a Zerg vs Zerg final as it is a PVZ
I
final.
didn't even prepare for games.
It's like,
5,
oh my
6,
god,
7.
that's crazy.
Oh. So
Evan, do you play
4-0?
video games for competition or do you
I
play
see,
them
that's
for
an
fun?
answer in itself. Let's close things out with our players' final remarks.
Because I don't know if you can play StarCraft for fun. I
Why
think
would
you
you
can
play
only
if
play
you're
it
going to lose
competitively
anyway?
unless you play against the
I'll end this
computer.
quickly. We'll all be back home in an hour or two.
Damn, that's a fucking an hour. Damn, Effort's like you're gonna play 4 games in an hour.
Hope I managed to show
Holy
what I came
shit!
prepared with.
And he's like, wait. That means the games would only be like
Whatever
45
comes,
minutes.
if I lose,
Dude, that is a ballsy saying. We'll be out of here in an hour. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna take this fucker down. And Snow's like,
Change of
Snow's like, shit. What did I say?
From Snow and Effort and their back and forth provocations.
God.
Thanks for the interview. ASL Season 20 done in partnership with Google Play and Gravity. Which of the two
Go
will
Gravity.
survive
I
and
still
move
have
on
no
to the
idea what
round
the
of
fuck
4?
that is. I think some sort
It's
of
time to
Korean
start
thing.
the first game of Snow versus Effort.
Oh, and we're starting out on the
Let's
worst
get into this,
possible
man.
map.
I just hope we get something that's as close and as crazy.
Oh, this is gonna be
as we
crazy.
had.
Zerg are not the greatest
That was
on island
such an
maps.
Epic match. But you know, it's hard to get a game 7.
Shadow Realm!
Best of 7. You know, statistically, they almost
Motherfucker.
always end before that.
That's for sure true. I am hoping that it is just close. I do want to see some big macro games. That's one thing we were definitely missing before.
Yeah,
And both
yesterday
these guys
games
get
never
through.
went past like
Couple
20
of that,
minutes.
I think Snow
That was
definitely,
insane, especially the
trends
final
towards
2 were
later
fucking
game Protoss versus Zerg over everyone else.
Where Barracks
Plays
just
kind of a grinding
cheesed.
style.
Cheese the
But
shit
Effort
out of
is
Mini.
overall very decisive. He's much more likely to just jump on the first weakness he sees and try to end the game. So, yeah, I feel like it could be like the longer games tend more towards Snow and the faster games tend more towards Effort. So, if like here's my prediction basically is if Snow wins, we're getting closer to 7 games, and if Effort wins the series, we're going to get closer to fewer games, right? Like 5 games, 6 games.
Yeah, I don't know. It's only 2 hours, so I mean,
right.
there's a
Snow is
possibility.
also
But
not
yesterday was 7 games that were
for
all
taking a lot
super
of crazy
short.
risks
Because this is gonna be
in
4 games that are all
early
super
on.
long.
He plays a very straightforward, extremely solid early game. Tends to not die to cheeses, and then basically just comes out with a push.
But he's just
He might be the best
versus Zerg is
Protoss
Snow's
Berserk
weakest
pusher in the
matchup.
entire world
That's probably
right
his
now.
biggest problem.
I think you're right. Like he's extremely good at that exactly. It's funny watching them. They all of the top Protoss players, like the top 5, the 4 that are in this round of 8, and then Rain, they all play really differently. I would say the closest to would be like Mini and Bisu based on Zealots, but it's really they're very different too. Like
Sure.
each of these guys have their own fingerprint in the matchup, and I gotta say the one that makes the most sense to me by far is Snow's. The way he grinds people down with Psystorm and just like gains value over time, like that's
Never makes a
coming from my
stupid call
background,
and
the way
just
that I look at
jumps
the game, I'm
in.
like, yes, if I was a Protoss player, that's the way I
Fucking
would attempt to
ads.
play it.
Why? Gotta
Yeah, he just has a
Why
very clean way of
ads? I don't
analyzing
believe in
the
ads.
mid-game.
If you don't
Yes,
believe
first
in
of all,
ads,
staying
ads
safe
aren't
and not
real.
dying to Hydra busts or weird
If you don't
all-ins
believe,
or, I mean,
it doesn't
the whole
exist.
myriad of crazy
It's not
things
real.
that Zerg can do to kill
I
you off
don't
early on.
believe.
But then, you know, he basically
not
surveys
real.
the situation, identifies
No.
what kind of push he needs
No,
and when
it's
it's going
not.
to come
Please
out.
tell me it's
And
not
usually does a solid
real.
job. I
That's
don't
bad,
know
okay?
in
That's
any of
bad.
the games that we're going to see
That's
Snow
bad,
go
Cole.
into, by the way, super late
Don't
game
do
latency.
ads.
I
Like
think there's a
ads.
much higher chance it's either
That's
going to be a
bad.
push that wins or loses.
Yeah. Well, you know, Effort. I've been watching and casting a lot of his
9-2,
games
man. He's been
recently.
absolutely
He was
fucking
in
dominating.
ASL. I think it was 2 seasons ago, and I actually called him back then. I was like, I think Effort might win this because he was looking that good, and I think he does look good enough overall. Like he's kind of like back into his groove of his style, but I've also seen very good late games from him. So I feel like he's in the right type of shape where we might just get another win. And look, everyone counts the Advanced Star League at Soup as an ASL victory. You can see he's got 2 stars there. So
Yeah.
you know, you got to call him a 2-time champion. You know, winning the first like precursor to ASL against Bisu in that finals, and then he beat Flash in a finals. Like, I mean, the guy is,
Effort dethroned
he's so
Flash.
good. It's just
You know
he
what?
doesn't
And
stay as
Effort
active as some of
dethroned
the other
Flash
ones,
and
some of the
Effort
other
dethroned
players,
fucking
as far as
Sulky.
ASL goes. So I feel like some of the people watching, some of the newer fans might not quite realize how
That's
strong he is,
crazy.
but this is like
No,
a Jadong type of guy.
100%. I think Effort is one of these
One
players
of the
that has
6
Starcraft in his
dragons.
blood. He seems to be extremely active, and I think he's got a real shot here, which would be, again, a kind of a crazy upset. I think no matter how you look at it, you kind of have to weigh Snow as favored just based off his most recent results and how consistent he's been. He's been an anticipated ASL champion for like maybe the last 5
This looks like
years.
esports. This is
It
esports. This is
hasn't been over 10
Starcraft.
ASLs, but look, he's gotten far.
The
in so
round
many
of
them.
8 for the
Effort has been on and
ASL,
off
the World
radar.
Championships of
Like you were saying,
Starcraft.
Artosis, he doesn't seem to be, you know, play nonstop all the time.
This is
He
the
does
second
seem to take
match
these
in the
breaks,
round of
but
8.
He seems to be in very good shape. His
This is the original esport. This esport's been being played since 1997 in fucking. Yeah, it is literally so huge in Korea. It's played on TV like football or golf or like European football. Like it is literally like you just walk into Korea, you turn on the TV, and there'll be like 8 channels playing different StarCraft tournaments. Like it is their cultural sport, essentially. Like I'm pretty sure it's their like unofficial national sport, and it's supposed to be entering into the Olympics in like 2028 when they bring like esports into the Olympics. It's the only game in esports that has never had a patch. Nothing in the game changes, only the way that the people play the game. It is literally considered like equal to chess. in its
In
you
the
know,
orange and the bottom left is,
infinite
pepper
capacity
here in the blue.
of
Very exciting to see the island map first.
styles of, like,
This
it's
was
been going
Snow's
for
first
25
pick.
years, and
No big
yesterday
surprise
was
there.
the craziest, most insane games we have
And,
ever seen in StarCraft fucking
like,
ever.
you know, the island map.
And it just
we
keeps
were
getting
talking a lot
better
about
every
how
year.
This might be, like, when it first came out, this might be, like, one of the ways to try to snipe Sulky. Historically, Zergs do.
Welcome,
poorly on
Sean!
island maps. It's not a
How's
full
it going
island map, though.
today?
It does seem
Did
as
you
if,
manage to get that chapter
Zerg
finished,
is
bro?
probably favored on this map against Terran,
Saying.
but we haven't seen that many Zerg versus Protoss games here yet.
Yeah.
Although I do
Yeah,
think
this
it
is such a
Protoss
weird
based
map.
in this matchup.
It's got
especially with
islands on
someone
it.
like
Usually we don't
Snow.
have
Like,
island
Corsairs
maps.
can just dominate the air.
I'm trying to get into esports.
And then you get like Reavers.
StarCraft is the
things
esport
like
to get
that.
into
And
to
of course, you
watch.
have
It is
that
not
high
the
ground
sport to get into
natural
to play.
and the very long rush
Because you
games.
don't make
Just
a lot of
like
money
the
with it.
odds of being able
Like the
to
world
hydro
champion's
bust
only
are
like
very, very
$30,000. 24 posts.
You
I
know,
was pleasantly
haven't put a
surprised. I
ton
thought
of
it was going to
thought
be
into
boring,
this
but James
matchup
is
on this
kind of a
map
badass.
specifically, but
Well, there you
when
go,
you think
Sean.
about
Fuck
it, I mean,
yeah.
3 islands all collected in the bottom right. I think you're right. Corsairs are going to be extremely strong there. Natural on the high ground. And, you know, Protoss only need 2 bases early on, right? It's not like Zerg where they're pressing.
Yeah, Sean, guess what I watched today?
Or anything like that. So I think there's a lot of ways to play this. You know, Robo.
Because Callie mentioned it, or someone else mentioned
to
it.
just go right into Reavers versus Zerg, and it's actually not really used.
This reminds me of Command and Conquer Tiberian Sun.
Throw it out.
What? I guessed it.
But we'll see if this game is one where Snow will
Weapons.
do it. You know, Snow is
I
known
watched
for
Weapons.
having, by far, the
Make
best
cinema
control
great again.
for the
Oh
history
my
of the entire
fucking
race.
god. 10
Fucking quarter
out of
century
fucking
Protoss,
10.
and no one
Writing,
is close.
cinematography,
Even Minnie, who's,
fucking
you know, one of the greatest players of all time.
acting,
So
like,
different looking at
holy
Reaver control and then
fuck,
the
it
Snow
was
control.
so good.
But it's just hard
So
to get Reavers out
fucking
and make them
good.
useful, considering you need to get Storm out so quickly
Oh,
to be safe against
it gives
some
me
of the
hope
other
for
units.
movies again, guys.
Yeah,
It
really
gives me
is
fucking
impressive to see
hope.
someone so
Holy
synonymous with one
shit.
unit. And we've had
Go
really good
watch it. It
players
is
in the
fucking
past.
phenomenal.
You know, Into the Rainbow, very well known for his Reaver
And it's like,
control
it's a
back in the day.
stand, as far as I
PJ was
know,
well known for Reaver control
it's a
back in the day.
standalone
You know,
universe.
there's been players that have
Like,
really
it's not a
relied on
copy of
units,
something.
so really
It's not a
dodgy
fuck.
with
Maybe it's a
that.
book. But,
Either way,
like,
this is an overpool coming out from effort.
any universe I
Snow's
know
trying to be as
of,
greedy
and that's
as
like
is
for
humanly possible.
originality
See if
purposes,
this is
that's
gonna
so
bite or not.
powerful in film
The
because
rush
everyone's just
distance is
regurgitating
really,
fucking what
really
they know
far on
will
this map.
sell.
And you can see he is kind of.
I think the
attacking there.
last,
That's like
the last like
position in the early game of the pros to make
amazing
sure they just do not move.
individual
And he
universe,
even
like
brings
original
secondary
universe
guards up to block those
was
positions as well. So
A Quiet
very good defense
Place.
there from Snow, and
That
looking
was
at the
so
openings,
fucking awesome.
It's a better opener. For
I
Snow
forget,
overall.
is StarCraft existed before
Yeah,
the first
I
Command and
wanna
Conquer
just,
or not? Warcraft
nail down a
existed
point that you were
before
making earlier,
StarCraft.
because I think a lot of people
It was
miss this. The probes are still
1997,
attacking, built the forge and the gateway.
so I don't know
They'll
when.
never move if Lings attack them. You can't make a probe hold position because it doesn't have that button.
Command and Conquer came
dial
out first. It was
bottom right, you
95.
click on it.
I think that's
now,
the same
if
day
you
as
Zealot, you can hold
Warcraft,
position with a
or
Zealot and a
Warcraft
probe in a
1
control
year.
group. For whatever reason, that input will
Nope,
carry over to the
94
probe.
was Warcraft.
But
Warcraft
that's
2
why
was
you'll see players
probably
attack their own structures.
96?
I actually get asked
Nope,
this
it was
and test them
95.
out.
Yeah.
So it was Warcraft
Whenever
2,
I stream,
and then
so
Command and
I
Conquer, and then
realize how many
StarCraft.
people might not
Because StarCraft was
notice this or
97.
might not realize, like, why that doesn't make any sense.
Then Brood
It must
War
be a
was
mistake
98.
You're attacking your own building. But yeah, it's a great way to try to seal off your entrance.
And, yeah.
And Snow's getting his cybernetics core over here, and this is going to be a Hydra bust, which feels weak.
Yeah.
One of the few moments you'll hear me say that, but considering that you're on the high ground, I mean, you should have much stronger cannons here. Now, sometimes there is this sort of counterintuitive concept in that because you're so unlikely to die to Hydra busts, they will under defend there. In other words, they'll have less cannons. So maybe this busts Snow down, but you got to think this is looking really comfortable for Snow right now.
Well, this is exactly why, or a big part of why at least, this is considered like really, really good for Protoss, is you have that high ground, so the Hydras have a hard time attacking, but
Yeah.
because of that, you might be able to bust them because it's so bad. You know, like things like this are real in games like this where like you can call the bluff. It's like he's going to
Because they know that it's so hard to do,
against
so they're
Hydra
not going to
because
defend
it's
against it
not
so
a
that you
likely
can do
strategy
it.
to use.
That's
It's
the
very weak on
mentality
the
of
map.
cutting
Rush distance
corners.
is super long. And because of these things, you can just do the Hydra Bust anyways and have this be kind of a throwaway map where you're like, well, it's not supposed to work, but, you know, he might just have few enough cannons that I break through anyways.
Oh, this would be crazy. He only has one cannon.
Okay, so the
well, he's
Hydra's gonna be
making
coming
more.
up now. So far, Snow is not in the know on this.
Yeah, he's only got 2 cannons. Oh my god.
Gonna scout. If you watch
Oh my
try
god.
to move through where the Hydras would be.
Oh,
He might be tempted to
he's
curve
gonna
down
see
here,
them.
but he is gonna see it. So this is not a lot of time.
Yeah, he needs to
This is
drop
still
down
a
more
little bit
cannons,
scary.
like right
Notice
now.
The cannons are actually far back. He
Oh
cancels the
shit.
second Stargate
Oh, he's
literally
going for the
flat on top
Corsair.
of
He's
the
not
back
going
end.
straight
And
up.
he's willing to ditch some of the
Oh, he's
entrants.
gotta go.
By the way,
He's gotta
look at
go.
the Robo thrown down here.
Go, go, go,
Well,
go, go, go. He
let's
would have
see if we
already
can
been
actually
attacking.
End up holding this. Another hatchery comes up from Effort. Effort's going to start to poke up here a little bit. And where he's firing from here is low ground, so he's going to be missing some shots.
He needs
it's gonna take him a lot
more.
longer, probably.
Damn, that
like
Corsair's been
50%
fucked
longer
up.
to actually break this wall down compared to when it normally.
He only
would be.
has 4 fucking
And
cannons.
Snow, you know, only 4 cannons so far. Kind of interesting to see it like that. Like, you know, he's trying to not over defend.
I think he's trying to call his bluff, and he's like, nah, you're not going to make any more Hydras.
He is remaking a pylon down here. I don't know, is that bottom cannon powered? I guess it is. Okay.
That
but
other
the
one
in
isn't,
the front
though.
is not. So he's barely got this all strung together with pylons in the right position.
Look at all the
He
probes
backs up the
just
Robo
sitting
up,
around.
he gets
Damn.
the Forge. And by the way, there's not more Hydralisks being rallied across the map to meet up with this main army. So he kills off the entrance, and the game goes on. The Robo's been
But now he's got 4
The
bases.
Overlord obviously is going to get killed off, but, you know, I guess the Robo is somewhat predictable, right? We were kind of talking about this earlier. It's
he
not
building
easy
a
to go
spore?
Robo, but if there was a map...
Dude, is he
to go
building spores because he
Stargate
just
to Robo,
knows
this would be
Snow's
right.
going to go for fucking...
Once upon a time, there was a question of what Protosses would do. Would they go Corsair Reaver or would they go High Templar Tech? That was a question years and years and years and years and years ago. And eventually it got figured out that, like, no, Templar Tech is better. Except on certain maps, you can still go for Corsair Reaver. Occasionally we see it. It's a rare...
Oh, here we go.
This is a map where we
Immediately
see
to the island map. Okay, there are Sunkens.
Also, I want to mention one thing. I think that Effort... I think looking at this game and knowing about...
Oh, of course,
and the way
Effort
he
is
plays
Burrow.
generally,
He's like the only Zerg that gets Burrow.
Hydra Rush was never intended to be any sort of all-in or even win the game. I actually think he utilized that to make sure it wouldn't be 2 Stargate Corsair. Like, he utilized that to be like, we're going to play a different type of game here. Because 2 Stargate Corsair on every map right now is trending way upwards. Everyone's gotten really good at it. It looks really strong at the moment. And if you do this build, you will force a cancel on the second Stargate instantly, like we saw from Snow. So I actually think that this was the plan from Effort. He's like, I'm not going to lose any Overlords this game. Screw that. I'm going to pull a Hydra bust. It's not going to be real. And we're going to get into, like, a regular macro game.
I think
Love
that
the direction.
is some of the best PvZ analysis I've heard from Yortos.
You can do a 9-gate?
Right.
Do you think you could go
just
carriers?
don't want double Stargate. No.
Yeah,
But,
I wanted to ruin it, but thank you.
But you know what he will
+1.
do is he's going to go into mass Dragoons, I think.
Yeah, he's getting
Don't have
goon
a
range.
Citadel out here. So it's going to be 6 Gateway Dragoons. So the idea is that he basically takes this island base. And by the way, I don't think Zerg can really try to punish the island base just yet. And he's going to go up to, actually 7 Gateway Dragoon. And maybe we'll see a Citadel added in later, and maybe a Templar Archives.
Yeah, I don't know if he's
he's
going to go up to 9 gates
but
either.
You can do this Dragoon push with this.
Oh, that Burrow is so fucking good.
Corsair, Dragoon, Reaver push is extremely strong.
And now he's just going to scout the islands.
And we'll see,
He's
right?
gonna find this base.
You know, it's one of these moments where, like, God, I feel like I used to see this more often, and
He's
certainly
gonna
do
see
it more often in my
Effort's
own
gonna try and
play,
expand
it's sort
again.
Of gone away.
Yeah.
You know, oh God, that's pretty unfortunate. It looks like he has
Wow.
a
Terrible
bit of a log
pathing.
jam there, trying to get his units out of there. But you know, the Dragoon Reaver push can be pretty
he is
hard
getting
to
a
stop,
colony. Okay.
especially once you have Corsairs in there, because the Dragoon Reaver Corsair combination, it kind of beats everything the same way that, like,
Oh, he
Dragoon
wants to go for those
Archon,
shuttles so
Templar
bad.
does, with a couple of zealots in the front. And this match
Because
is
Reavers
pretty,
can really fuck up
linear.
the Hydras.
Like, you don't have a whole lot of ways to counter.
He doesn't have lurkers yet. But man, look at that. Just Burrow, man. Burrow has done so much carrying for him as far as like scouting goes.
They're probably not going to have observers with their army as
Look,
quickly.
he's just...
Look at this. There's actually Hydras ready to unburrow over here. Oh my god. He's so good.
And he's just going to let them sit there.
Gonna get wrecked. Here we go. He's going to pop out. He's going to go for the shuttle, and he actually doesn't quite get it.
Oh, that sucks.
And I think
the idea was great, but...
win that fight. I think he wanted to be a little bit more patient there.
Yeah.
And he's going to go for it, but this is going to be two different angles he's trying to make this work from.
Yeah, okay. There, he got the shuttle, so you just need to kill the Reavers.
Really quickly, and will end up getting one of the Reavers. The other Reaver kept alive on like 4 health.
He doesn't have any lurkers yet, though.
It is a very small Protoss army, but with the Reaver there, definitely difficult to engage. And this is the perfect type of area for Snow to take this fight, like right in this little choke. He's got that great range on those Dragoons as well.
Oh, and he's got 2 coming in through the back. Okay, there he goes.
Reaver. He does end up getting that, so I think that this army will end up falling.
He needs to move the Corsairs, though.
It seems like overall a pretty good defense, but Snow's control there was very good as well.
Yeah, we needed to see more.
He's almost bottlenecked himself into his own base. He's got a couple of Dragoons that are dancing around in the main.
You know, Dragoons.
Okay, now he's got Lurker out.
Just get enough of them. They can be.
But Dragoons counter the Lurkers,
it is
so.
actually a microable situation too, where you can kind of.
But the Hydras kill the Lurkers, or kill the Hydra. Hydras kill the Dragoons. The Lurkers are countered by the Dragoons.
Don't see an observer.
So he doesn't. He just doesn't want him to make.
Zerg's already on 4 bases.
Lurkers.
I don't.
Yeah, Zerg's had 4 gas for a while. Like he could go Hive easily.
Man. It feels a little bit off here for Snow. It felt like we had Robotech and then we didn't have anything. And Mass Dragoons is just never going to cut it.
Hey, does he have an archive for Storm yet?
He might just need to play a really long game here. Like get into Psystorm, build more courses.
I'm surprised he hasn't taken a 5th. Effort hasn't taken a 5th yet.
Because. Like, as far as ground army goes, it feels like
he's dropping
here. And
he's 100% dropping.
Ready. Like, he had moved those overlords through the top of the map at the beginning of that push, so they've just been sitting there waiting. And now he's bringing up his army. It looks like he's going to do a massive drop in that main base. And that's actually going to be really hard for Snow to get back and defend. Because he's Dragoon Man right now. Like, he's going to be going single file around these gateways.
This is be so bad.
Stopping a mass drop. This is a little bit scary.
He's like, oh, fuck.
Didn't even occur to me to drop the main here. I kind of imagine this being a game where you'd be dropping the islands. But coming up over here, I mean, this is so annoying. The Nexus and the Forge are here as well. He's got a shuttle and a Reaver. He has shuttle speed, too, so he can definitely get more value.
Oh, he's going to... Oh, man.
But, yeah, man, I mean,
it's still so close
I see one observer coming up. Remember that, you know... as long as the observers are sniped, you can't make any progress here against something like a lurker. But this is held. It wasn't like a ton of probes are killed off here. But man,
it prolonged the attack and it stopped the attack for a while, and I think that's what's important. He's going to try and do it again.
About how rush distances are really bad for Zerg early on. They're also pretty bad for pushes later on.
Yeah, see, now he's going to go and drop that. Zerg is so good at like later on for islands because they can do the mass drop because it's just like you just get the upgrade, you have the overlords.
I think if Snow just turtles pretty heavily here, like I really think he does need to get into Psystorm as well. But like he needs to.
He's gonna lose that island
from doing anything to him anymore. Now look at this. Scourge come over, clears Corsairs. He's very low on Corsairs. And now his army is so out of position. He was walking towards the bridge.
Yeah, see, he's attacking here to fake out, to move the army away, and then he's gonna go and destroy the 3rd. Yeah, see, he's gonna drop here.
Big drop over here.
And he's gonna destroy that base.
I think Snow's starting to fall apart.
Yeah, so I think Snow's fucked.
They can actually go for mutas if you don't have any more Corsairs. Dragoons alone are not great versus
Snow's gonna try and go for a counterattack because the units have been splayed off. But
because you know normally
when he's just oh my god, look at this. One more. Oh my god, and they all got stuck. All the probes got stuck.
On the ground. The thing is, you normally still have Storm, right?
So I just gotta go in. I just gotta attack them and hope I win.
And your Shuttle and Reaver have been sniped the same way that Templars get sniped in PvZ. That's a problem.
Ooh, that shuttle is very low, but he brings it back, drops out those 2 Reavers. This push is incredibly important because Snow's losing everything. There's drops
he has to, like,
his third
he
base
has
is
to
dead.
do
He's
something
playing
here.
against a 4-base effort with a huge amount of hatcheries. He's got like 8 hatches right now, so...
Is he just going to go north with those units?
Effort supply almost as
That's
high
what I
as
do. I just take him north.
It just...
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
This
He's going to drop.
like Effort's taking this game to me.
Yeah. I don't think Snow can do shit.
The Hydras are just going to bum rush the Reavers.
Because he can just replenish as much as he wants. He's not in...
And all he has to do is take out one of the key parts of this army every time. Another lurker drop's going to come in here. So many probes are down here right now. And it does.
He doesn't have an observer.
The heel for Protoss this game was just not having enough observers. I almost wish we could look in the replay because it does seem like he just stopped making Robo anything after the second Reaver was out. There wasn't
even though he has 2 Robos.
There wasn't a second shuttle or a second Reaver that fast. And, you know, when you go Mass Dragoon Reaver, you're you really need to end the game with a push. I know PvZ's always sort of like that, but it's even more like that when you go for Dragoon Reaver. You really need to basically...
I mean, the second that...
To get this
like, I don't understand why Effort isn't going for Hive Tech at this point. Like, he could have Defilers at this point.
Probably one more chance to try to push this.
And, because, like, look at his bank. His bank is fucking huge.
Oh my god, he's going to try to run back, and the Scourge just take out the Observer again, and there's nothing you can do.
I love that he's bringing up, like, 4 Scourge per...
Oh, he got one of the Lurkers
like,
up.
If you just kill the Observers, he can't push you anymore, and you're buying a huge amount of time. And he's still doing little drops and being very annoying. I think what Effort has done here and what he does in general that makes him so strong is he's taken Snow completely out of what Snow's initial game plan was. We're not 100% sure what it was, but it had to do with 2 Stargate Corsair. And without those additional Corsairs, he's hit all these drops because Snow went into heavy units to try to counteract the heavy Hydras. And, like, so now he doesn't have the Corsairs to clean up the Overlords. He can't control the islands. In fact, Effort's taking an island. And, like, look at this.
He's just moving in.
It might be cost inefficient for Effort, but his economy is so much better.
Yeah, he just doesn't care.
Yeah, he realizes these Dragoons can't really leave comfortably. There is an Observer here, so Protoss can fight, but this is going to be a lot of damage suffered here.
Now imagine if he had Storm in here, like just 3 Storms or something like that.
Maybe there is a counterpunch that comes in here. I mean, let's see if he can move down now. That could have been the overextension that might cost Effort the game. He'd have to have a perfect push from here on out, though.
Well, he's trying to push in here, loses a lot more.
And he's got the Sunkens too. Like,
oh my God. Trying to get some value.
Biggest thing is that he's got the Sunkens.
Much defense left here. Maybe.
Okay, well the Sunkens. Oh, you
like
know.
His Reavers are dealing a lot of damage, and look, Effort's running out of minerals at some of these bases. Like this base is already mined out.
Yeah, he's continuing to chase us up here. Oh, okay. You know, this is something, man.
Oh my God!
This is actually something. Hold
can
up a
Snow
second
actually
we have some more
win?
Reinforcements come in. Gosh, it's not very much. It's like 4 or 5 units coming in here. But as long as
these
there's
Reavers,
Hydra
14
Lurker
kills,
isn't as good of a comp for fighting as Reaver Dragoon
yeah,
Shuttle
but
is,
Effort just has
again,
money.
If he snipes the Reavers, it becomes a lot simpler of a game, right?
This is
absolutely.
Yeah, see if Snow was mining right now, if Effort didn't continue to do those lurker drops, Snow would have fucking won. Because he would have had like at least 6 more Dragoons. Maybe
like,
8 more
Dragoons.
Dragoons.
As far as getting additional mining resources up, like Snow has very few probes. You can see his main base has like nothing in it basically as far as mining going. His natural is getting low and he's lost probes there. He's had nothing at that 3rd base for a while. Effort trying to saturate.
He's got like 2 probes or 3 probes mining. Okay, now he's getting more mining.
Difficult pre-hive. I mean, it is a crazy game right now.
Everett's done such a good job with the drops. Like even now,
he's just going for the gas, just doing whatever he can.
It's so annoying.
To be annoying.
And the probe count is so painfully low here. Even taking the island. You know, it didn't occur to me, but I guess Zerg will mine out the mainland part here pretty quickly. He's going to target down this probe if he can. I don't think there were scarabs in there, actually.
Oh my God.
He gets the observer, too.
Fuck,
is
man.
so good at this. Getting, like, those little volleys that are getting so many kills. Snow's economy is so trash, man. Like, he cannot afford anything that he's doing. Like, he can't make out of very many gateways. He can't be producing Reavers nonstop and making scarabs and making probes. It's just, Effort's done a great job this game.
I think he's got less than 30 probes this game. So he's going to drop up here. This is the right idea.
Burrow!
Of course, I
Burrow!
totally forgot
Burrow!
Burrow. That's so funny.
Burrow!
But this can at least reclaim the island. The Scourge are going to end up killing us.
Oh,
What? Is that
no.
go out?
That's...
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I don't know how exactly you control it. Do you have to right-click through and then A-click on it? Is that the trick?
You have to click ahead of it. If you tell the Scourge to attack the shuttle, they'll actually, like, I think,
Oh, and now he's got
never hit it.
mutas.
And there's a lot of
like
juke
drag
things.
behind it.
Yeah, their speed is just enough that like you can overtake it over time, but you have to like click beyond it. Okay, Muta's
So,
out
I was
now?
mentioning this
What
much
is
earlier.
this?
Yeah, because well, you can get Mutas the same way and just snipe them like they're Templars. It's kind of the same idea. It's a little bit harder because there's a shuttle, but you know, look at this. He just runs up here. Yeah, just like this. I think this will probably.
Yeah, this is
go to
GG.
GG. There it is.
What a
Man,
fucking
nicely done.
game one,
We
guys.
saw Effort do
Holy
a fist
shit.
bump into a scratch of the head. Not celebrating just yet, but knowing he's one step closer to taking this.
Well, that was an important map. That's a map that Zerg is not really supposed to beat Protoss on. That's like the
Right.
most Protoss map we've seen in a long time. But he dismantled Snow. He had the right plans. He took Snow out of what Snow wanted to do. This is the masterful play of Effort. Like, he does this to Flash as well. Like, the guy is just so strong. And I think Snow might be looking at this and saying, oh my God, is it not just, you know, Hero and Sulky who are going to eliminate me? Is it going to be Effort as well? Can I just not beat this wall of great Zerg players?
Possible, man. Doing a quick highlight moment here. This was maybe the one moment it looked like it could swing into his favor. There were really about 20 different drops that Effort did that caused really big damage. I think the main push needed to be executed a little bit better. You should probably have the second Robo out earlier and Observers just on non-stop rally here, like Hotkey or Robo, and just have that endlessly making obses. And I don't know if he got Observer vision range, but I think you probably need that if you're going to play for this. It did seem like he had neither Observer speed or
range.
Observer vision range. And I actually think versus Zerg, vision range is a little bit better.
Yeah.
Because you can really stay out of the way.
Yeah, if you have speed, your observers go
really are
beep,
like
and then they run in, and you're
They're
like,
the worst unit in
fuck,
the game, truly.
it's dead.
They
They're
are
just,
terrible.
they're like an F or D rank or E rank unit, however you want to put it.
They're the worst.
Yeah.
And they're the only
Immediately is
detection unit
pivotal to fights.
for Protoss.
Can't move
All
fast,
that
can't
advanced
see far,
technology,
can't detect,
their
but
only thing
that's
is an
just about all
observer.
they do. We're going to go to a break, guys. Coming up next, it's going to be game 2 right now. Effort in a 1-0 lead versus Snow here in this best of 7.
구글 플레이와 그래비티가 함께하는 ASL 시즌 20 8강 두 번째
All right,
경기에
welcome back.
함께하겠습니다.
It is time to get into game number 2. We're going to be going to Metropolis between Effort and Snow. This is actually Effort's first map pick, and I'm not 100% sure why that would be. Like, the games that I've seen personally on this map, I feel like I always see Zerg end up going Mutalisks here and sniping High Templar as well, but nothing about the map makes me think that that would be why the map is chosen. I don't know if you have any insight on that, Tasteless.
I'm not sure either. I think we're going to know pretty fast when the game starts out. But look, Effort playing a very solid game. And frankly, we don't have games like that in StarCraft 1 anymore. Obviously, we don't have island maps of that same... Well, we never really had island maps quite like that, right? But island maps playing a role in the periphery. You know, top left, bottom right. And then also, you know, his usage of drops, we just don't have games like that anymore. You know, it's much less common for Zerg to go for that style of play, but he played a very different looking game. Obviously, Snow was forced to go for the Reavers, both to protect the islands and expand to the islands, and then also to push. But I don't think that game can represent what the rest of the games are going to look like. So I think game 2...
Snow versus Effort, a Reaver versus a Ling. Oh, I love it. That's so
Snow
great.
versus Effort in the matchup in a more common a game of ZVP.
Well, I am interested to see what the Effort's plans might be here. I love how he dictated control of that last game, forced him out of the Corsairs, went into drops later on for the kill moves. Very expertly done there by Effort. I hope that Snow can kind of stabilize in this game. If Snow loses this game, I'm going to feel like he's in a terrible spot because he loses to Zerg most of the time. And people might not remember this, but like it took him several seasons of ASL to win his first game against Zerg. Like he had never won a game against Zerg in the old Kespa days either. So like Zerg has always been his weakest matchup, but he is great at the matchup now. But I still feel like this is the thorn in his side. If it was only Terran players, he'd win every ASL.
Oh yeah, PvT and PvZ are very, very different skill sets. You have to really have a totally different approach to the two matchups. We're going to go into game 2 now in Snow versus Effort and see if Effort will keep the lead or if Snow evens it out.
I think it might just be a 4-0 Effort. But I said that yesterday about Barracks, and it was 7 games.
Okay. Snow in the top right and Effort in the bottom right.
I love Pink Zerg. Pink Zerg and Teal Protoss, my two favorites.
Go for Forge or Gateway Expand here. This is a map you can be a little bit cheesy with cannons. And, you know, we do see the rotation of Forge being popular first and then Gateway. One thing I'm pretty confident about is we are not going to have any kind of one-base play.
Yeah.
Probably no gateways in the center of the map. If we have it, I'm totally down to cast it. But Snow seems the least inclined out of all the players in PvZ for ASL to go down that route.
Honestly, I think it's really only Mini that will regularly do anything like that. It's pretty, like I'm trying to think of games I've seen Best or Bisu or Snow go for things like center gate or one-base tech builds.
Dragoon.
And it really is kind of a mini special with him out of the tournament. Yeah, I would agree. It's not too likely to see any of that.
So for now, it's going to be what looks to be Gateway Expand, unless the build orders are really changing. And actually, hold on a second. Is he going to even macro up further and maybe just go for blind Nexus first? Because we're already passing 150 minerals. So this is going to be Nexus first blind. This is so funny. Who was it that did this earlier this season? Was it Bisu? Or was it Mini?
I honestly don't remember. I think it was Bisu because I don't remember many PVZs very clearly. But yeah, Bisu played quite a few.
So this is crazy to me.
Very interesting.
Because, you know, there's so many things
and it's a 9 pool
early on, including like 4
So this is like a
maybe that
counter.
Just kills you, and you just don't worry about that because they're not as likely to do that. But it's going to be Nexus
and he's
on
scouting
11
with a drone
into Forge on 11. Wow.
That's actually the original like blind Nexus from Remaster that
you
we
just wanted
saw,
to make sure there was no middle.
Where Ray
Center
was
gate.
doing that in ASL. I remember you calling out and be like, "Look at this! This is kind of fresh." But we've seen some other blind Nexus first variants with like 12 probes. But yeah, this 11 one is exactly. I remember very clearly watching Rain go 11 Nexus, 11 Forge. So we'll see if this works out well. Like it's been scouted. It is an overpool. But how many lings did he make? Oh, I think he did make 6 lings, but it's overpool, right? So like they don't all pop at exactly the same time.
He's only going to see the first 2. I think it's actually only 4 total. Getting 6 is probably a little bit excessive.
Oh,
but hold on a second. These lings are going to get here before this is done. Dude. Oh, this is a little
Oh,
scary.
that was
Okay.
so
Talk
close.
about narrowly holding that off. Oh, my God.
If that was a 9 pool instead of an overpool, he would have got in.
So when you go for a Nexus like this, you get to skip the first
is he
pylon.
going to try and do it?
Or the
Oh, my
second
God.
pylon, I mean. I think you guys
He's
get
still
what I'm
got the
saying.
probes.
Oh,
Oh, no, he couldn't get them through.
What a killer. That was so good.
Yeah.
That was so good from Snow. Oh my God.
Perfect.
I thought he was going to get 2 of them past. I was pretty sure. I'm like, ooh,
Yeah,
this might
same.
be bad.
No, I was about to be very sad.
He was
Snow.
ready
Be like,
for it.
Okay, well, you've got
Effort
you know,
pulled
a
the
couple
trigger
more
too
games to
early.
Try. We'll go to the next one. Great catch. And, of course, that forces more lings. Because right now this probe is scouting completely for free. And Snow has really been able to develop unimpeded. So he's done a very greedy build. It's gone completely unpunished. In fact, because it was so close, Zerg thought you know, that he might have an opportunity actually to go in, and with perfect control, Snow shuts it down. This means the Zealot's going to be running free on the map. He can try to squeeze that in between some minerals somewhere, use that to confirm if there's a Hydra bust or something like that.
Now, what do you think his effort's going to do next here? Does he go into a Hydra bust, or does he go into layer?
Oh, that probe just sitting there, so painful.
From, like, kind of a semi-failed Zergling rush.
Excuse me. Well, nothing feels strong from a semi-failed Zergling rush. I don't know if one is preferable to the other. You know, it's funny. It's like you don't want to lose the first of anything you make early on at pro level, because obviously you're just going to be in such a worse spot. Like, these Zealots are doing way more damage than they should be, right? There were supposed to be 6 Lings ready to catch this right away. Instead, drones are hatching and they can't even mine. And if Lings come down there, there's going to be another Zealot to run in here to the other side. He's going to come in with the probe here, too. And this is going to be a little scary. Can he actually wedge it between
we
the
got
minerals?
one.
It looks like he wants to go for a dive and try to get kills there instead. And
2.
he's going to get 2, so that's
Wow.
That's actually
and a
really
probe
worth
scout
it.
into the main.
Wow.
Damn.
It's so worth it.
I'm really surprised he did that well. That was some flubbing there from effort. It's not very common that you see him lose a couple drones like that. It looked like he had pulled the second one away especially, and then it still got sniped. So, yeah, definitely some mistakes going on effort's side. He has Zergling speed now coming up, and yeah, this looks like a pretty damn tight wall. You're not going to be able to break through there.
Okay, so we've got some drones that were killed off. Oh, whoa, he's going to go for Hydra Den. Off of layer. That's very unusual.
I guess he just wants to do something that's unpredictable.
Don't do this anymore. Okay, so let's see what kind of game it's going to be from that. You know, this is not going to be any kind... It certainly can't be a Hydra bust, right? It's too late to do that. But he's basically just going to layer up, get Hydras, and turtle it out. I guess realizing there's no way to really attack in here. He knows that there's a pretty strong engine, macro-wise, behind Snow's play. So what he needs to do is probably go up and turtle this out as best he can and get ready for DTs and, you know, any kind of Zealot run-bys that might try to come through here. He skipped Spire entirely, which is what I found most interesting. Getting a Den isn't crazy, but a Den with no Spire is kind of a funny-looking thing.
Yeah.
Especially with a layer. He might be going for Overlord speed here as well pretty early.
Well, you know... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say what I was thinking for this was because we've seen so much 2 Stargate Corsair, maybe that factors into why he's chosen to do this, whether he's looking for... because he's already behind, right? Like, everything has gone Snow's way. He blocked the Zerglings with a Nexus first, and then, you know, he killed 2 drones with his first Zealot, so, like, he's definitely well ahead. So maybe you're doing this hoping he goes, like, double Stargate Corsair. Maybe you can do a pre-storm bust timing, that type of thing. Like, you know, just take a big risk to try to pick up a win where you shouldn't.
I mean, possibly. I think you have to kind of just recalibrate for rough openings here. 2 things went wrong, right? Actually, 3. First of all, it's unfortunate that he scouted a really greedy build and it got off. Then he thought he had a punish, so he sent Lings in, and that backfired. And then the Zealot counterattack killed a couple drones. And that all might seem pretty small and minimal, but when you have players this good, it's actually a pretty big deal.
I
he wants to just have this Hydra ball that can basically fight and probably have.
Does that mean you have
speed
food now,
so that he can
Callie?
push with that as well.
How's it going, Callie? So, Callie, guess what I watched today?
Early on, try to come out on the map and fight with maybe even like a lurker contain after this.
Well, these 2 Zealots actually running amok in his base. Really, really annoying. He's trying to target them down the Corsairs, which means the Zealots actually still have very high health and will buy some extra time here for Snow while he pulls the rest of his Zealots back to his
fucking
base.
good.
Still looking pretty darn good here for Snow.
Oh my fucking god,
Definitely
it
feels
was
like he's
so
in control of this
good.
game, and now he's going to have a DT on the map too.
10 out of fucking 10.
Yeah, Protoss has been very freed up. We have the Robo Bay down here. This is going to be for the observers. This isn't for any kind of Reaver play like the last game. And Effort's basically turtling. He's in no position to try anything other than defend. And, you know, I got to say, Snow was pretty sharp. He really thoroughly check that there was no Spire.
That was your
and
day-to-day,
Corsairs out
Callie,
there,
other
too.
than you have meat
I'd
now.
be curious how BC would have played this. You know, he's much
Ooh,
more
that
inclined to just make
drone.
Corsairs because he wants to kill Overlords, where it feels like Snow and pretty much all the other Protosses and ASL make Corsairs because they're afraid of Mutalisks. So that means it's going to be more gas to go into upgrades, to get Templars and Dragoons and Observers out here for that eventual push. And the 6th hatchery, by the way, is placed at the 3rd base.
Oh, perfect
Snow's playing a
timing.
perfect game here. He's going to have a DT down here in the bottom left, just controlling the spot.
And now
And
has,
right now,
oh my
Zerg has
God.
got to feel very squeezed.
Yeah, look at the Zealots come in as drones are popping here. So he's actually going to pick up some nice kills. Another Zealot attack up towards the front.
And he just runs away.
Effort is just like perpetually on his back foot here. It really feels like nothing's going his way in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty rough game here. We've got Dragoon range being upgraded with the Observer tech coming up here. And Snow knows, you know, this is a very simple map. Zerg only wants to expand into the bottom left, and he's leaving enough stuff to interfere with that.
And he's got the
It's gonna
DT
be
down at the
hard
bottom.
to get a whole lot done. So he's hiding Zealots up here. The mains are massive, so he can run the Zealots away and maybe even have the DT come in to try to intercept that drone.
Well, the Hydras are having to chase those Zealots all over the place. It seems like the DT is just going to be hidden for now and maybe utilized a little bit later, whether that's to try to kill the hatch or get some drones. Snow's starting to move out with his Zealot Dragoon High Templar army. Looks like he's going to be taking his 3rd base. And,
Weapons
I
is
think that,
scary.
3rd base
It
is
was
not
so
too
good,
hard to
Callie.
hold on
Oh
Metropolis
my
for
God.
Protoss. Like, you have like a really good couple places to stand. One on a high
What
ground
a way to
and
tell
one
a
down
fucking
pretty
story.
long chokeway. So definitely feels like he can get that economy up and going without any danger really coming in from effort. So the game, it could slow down a little bit here, and effort continues to make more drones.
I
Like,
love
his
how they
drone count
portrayed
is
it as if it was a
really,
true
really high.
story, too. That was like
Yeah, he's got a crazy amount.
just the
Although that might
icing on
change
top,
with
the
DT.
cherry on top, the
It's
sprinkles
somehow
on
getting
top.
ignored.
So fucking
There's just
good.
this one blind spot. He actually has Overlords that can see this, but he's not getting the alert that your forces are under attack because one hit kills don't alert the other player.
And he's doing other
So,
shit, so...
I mean, this is 15 kills, mostly
17
drones,
kills.
and he's going to get away. He can hide this and do damage somewhere else on the map.
That's so fucking crazy.
And he actually can run up into this main. Is there an Overlord
man.
here? I don't think there is. Are you kidding me?
Oh, man.
What? How did this even happen?
This is a disaster for effort. Just an absolute disaster. I can't believe how many drones he's gotten with this DT. And the funny thing is, we still have a lot of drones for effort. It's just he's spent so much money on drones, his army isn't all that big. The attack from Snow,
Right.
look at this. Snow is up over 60 supply right now. That's absurd.
He's got Sunkens. He's so scared.
Yeah, this is wild. He's got these Dragoons that are going to come out here. Sometimes when they turtle up this much, what
He's
you
got
do
like
is just
5
try to hit
storms,
their
6 storms,
infrastructure on
maybe
the
8
outside, but
storms.
I can see a world where Snow might just be able to break the Zerg down here. You know.
Well, if you can't
Queen,
break him
hey,
up
how's it
60
going,
supply after a
Queen?
start like this, like, come
How
on.
are you today,
Yeah,
Queen?
You really should be
Well,
able to.
This map, it's kind of hard to push into because it's such a narrow area. It's hard to really take advantage of a fight because
I'm okay,
you know,
how are
lurkers and sunken
you?
colonies have better surface
I'm
area.
doing good.
Funnily enough, this, these
I
lurkers
watched
are gonna end up getting
Weapons
pinned
today.
over here.
Best movie
Keep
I've
in mind,
seen
those
in a
could be,
long,
used to defend the third
long
base, so I
fucking
don't know what's
time.
actually over there right now.
Well, he's.
I'd say it's
some
on
pretty
par
good
with the
defense up there, up the
Prestige.
high ground. It's really hard to get up small ramps
For, like,
against
using
just cloth
perspective to,
things
like,
this.
show the
he'll
character and
probably
stuff
blink
like
in
that.
Storm and try to kill off the lurkers
So
and things
fucking
like
good.
that, but it
Absolute
gets really
cinema,
cost
10 out of
efficient
10.
and takes a lot of time to break those types of spots. So effort is just like mega turtling here on 4 base, which this was actually a really popular style.
Acting was fucking
You know, back
phenomenal.
in like 2018
Oh my
or so,
God.
we saw like Larva and Sulky, for instance, always played ZVP like this. So it's interesting to see effort pull that out. This guy really is a jack of all trades in this matchup.
I love the Zealots on the map to basically force burrowing. He's
If
gonna
I ever
have
get back
enough
into movies,
Dragoons. I mean,
I'll keep it in
basically,
mind.
Everett's
Yeah.
trying to sandbag the
Especially if
entry
you love
point
horrors. Horrors
by
with
just
like
getting,
twists.
eggs up here, but you know the Hydras
It's
are
more about
disappearing
the psychological
pretty
part of it than
quickly.
anything else.
And as long as he gets up here, you know, Dragoons kill eggs pretty quickly. So I think he can just basically break this. There is a Nidus network that's coming here, so Snow needs to move really quickly. He cannot waste any time. In fact, the Nidus is about to finish. He's got the dive on it, and he denies it just barely.
Damn.
Wow, a lot of units were
Is
ready
it
to
bloody
come through
gory?
there
No.
to try to help
Only
them. So
there's
Effort's
only
ended up
one
losing his
part
base.
that's
That's gonna
bloody
bring him down to 3
gory,
on
really,
high-tech,
and it's
Snow's
almost
actually taking his own
comedic
4th base right now.
in the
So
way
Snow
that they
continues
did
to have
it.
in completely dominating position, but don't underestimate Hivezerg. There might still be a small chance here that Effort can grind his way back. I know that he's very good with Defilers. We don't
It
see
was
him
very
there as often because
unrealistic.
He's so strong in the early game and
Let's
finishes
say.
a lot of games.
Which
but
made it
you give this
quite
man a Defiler,
funny,
and he is going
in
to
my
be able to gain
opinion.
a lot of value.
Callie, if you know what I mean.
This
Did you
fourth
get
base
that,
is really
Callie?
important as well. If Protoss gets the 4th base, that's a lot of times a death sentence for the Zerg here, especially if they don't have a 4th base of their own.
With
Just
no
getting this
spoilers,
natural
just
is
saying, you know,
massive.
the one
Now, the
gory
Lurkers and
part
the
of
ones
it
that run up here,
seemed
they
a
might
little
kill the
bit
cannons,
comedic.
but, you know, I don't know
He
that they're gonna
was
kill this
here.
Nexus.
I was talking to him just
And
before you
frankly,
came
if
in.
You can just keep the Nexus there and remake the
I'm
cannons,
surprised
I
he
think
didn't
they're
say
gonna be
anything. He
fine.
might have walked
I don't
away
think
from the
there's a place
PC.
where Protoss has to be attacking across the map right now. You just have to defend stuff.
It looks like the crackling upgrade just finished right at the end of that as the last Zerglings were dying. And, you know, a very, very important upgrade, one of the best upgrades in the game.
20% attack
and,
speed.
You know, he's trying to get into, like, this really strong composition, Zergling plus Lurker. You know, that's kind of the ultimate composition in this matchup. It's just so strong.
So it's like...
and the Cracklings are going to do a pretty good job, but Snow's
I've
overall
never
army is
watched
just
Ruins.
hard to engage. He's maxed out. He's got twice the supply here of effort.
So Effort managed to sneak another Nidus over here. And he's... Oh, okay. I was about to say, he has not unloaded it just yet. But is the trickle of Protoss units enough? Yeah, he just targets it down. I don't know if Effort wants to be in this much longer, man. Yeah, GG. This is just... You know,
I'll have to check it
we
out,
were
yeah.
talking about this a little
Looks
bit in
good.
RSL because they've started to make maps like
I'm not
this
really a
map,
horror
where you
person,
just
that's the
don't have
thing.
as many bases. Basically,
Yeah.
StarCraft 2 is starting to experiment.
It's not that I
with this.
don't
And
like
a
them,
lot
it's
of the
that
same
I
ideas. They
way
can just driven
prefer
to a
fantasy
conclusion
or
a lot
sci-fi.
faster.
So like
Because
right
it
now,
becomes
I'm
very
watching
obvious who
Alien
has
Earth.
what and where the game can
Alien
go.
Earth also
And, you know,
peak
so many small
fucking
mistakes at the
cinema.
start led to a really
So
smooth game
fuck.
in
It could
mid-game
be
for
stand.
Snow.
It doesn't
He had
need
a
the.
push.
It's not.
He knew how to
It's
split
not
his
being
zealots.
carried
EG's
by the
perfectly on the map.
alien
I love
name.
this
It is
sign. This is
complementing
hilarious.
the alien name.
Um,
It would not
and he
need
basically
alien on it
stopped
at
Zerg from
all,
ever getting big
and it
enough
would
to where
still
they
be
could do anything. He
fucking
never
just
even
as
really
good.
won with a push.
I think
He
you
just
would
sort of kept
like
Zerg
the
on
ruins.
3
Okay,
bases,
I'll have to check
and
it
that was
out.
that.
You know, the craziest thing about that to me is...
You know, it's
I'm
another
looking at
really
it
good
and
one though. If
there's
you ever
just
watched
there's,
Oculus,
like, multiple times where even
The
though
one
Snow
with the
was super
mirror?
far ahead, if it
The
had
brother
gone
and
slightly
sister with
better
the
for
mirror?
Effort, he
Fuck,
might have been
that
able
is
to
a
turn
good
this game
horror.
around. Like, for instance, you know, if that Nidus had finished a bit quicker in the bottom left, or if he had noticed the Dark Templar that got 16 drone kills a bit quicker, right? If these things had changed a little bit, like, maybe Effort actually comes back in that game. Snow looked magnificent.
Haven't seen
but I'm
any
actually
recent
even
movies.
more scared of Effort after that loss than I am.
I
after
think
this
Oculus
win.
is like 2004.
Yeah, he looked really strong. We're going to go to Dominator here for map number 3. Snow with a great opening. About as good of an opening as you could ask for here. Really
No,
able to
2013.
strangle
Okay, so it is a
Effort
later
out of
film.
development and kind of end the game before
But my mom
Zerg
has
could ever
seen
get
it.
too big to fail. The question is, how is the opening going to go this time around? Snow, by the way, taking
Yeah,
some
it's like,
risks. Does Effort want to dial it up? Does he want to go for 9-pull speedling? That will beat a lot of these risky builds.
It's all about a mirror.
We'll find out in a
It's
second.
really, really fucking good. They love their cheers.
Guys, if you've been enjoying this,
You get paid based upon the
consider
amount of
signing up for our
decibels.
Patreon.com/ASL English. Join the cause. Do the right thing. We would love to have your support. If you can't afford to pay for the Patreon, you could always follow. You can get updates on when the VODs are dropped.
My other
I'm
half
usually
doesn't like
pretty
scary
good about
movies, so I don't
posting,
watch
like,
them
right
hardly
when it gets
anymore.
up. They get me right
Yeah,
about
see, it's
the
not that I
afternoon,
don't
have
like
lunch,
them, it's that I like
depending on
other
how fast
movies
they are,
more.
so,
My
yeah,
sister
please
was
sign up if you
always
like.
into horror.
And
It's
if
like,
anyone's wondering about who is
when we were
so
kids, she
brilliant
probably
to title
watched
the Taste Versus
Signs
Secret
200
podcast
times.
episodes
She
the
would
way that
watch
they're
it
titled on there, that's me,
every
guys.
fucking
I've got
day.
that great creativity of telling you both
That's
what
right.
season it is and what episode number. So definitely check it out.
And, you know, if you're wondering who types in "this round is up," enjoy tab link. That's your boy Tasteless. Adding his own little flavor in there. But yeah, guys, we would love it if you signed up. I'm trying to not do these plugs right at the start of game one. I was thinking about it. I'm like, this probably gets pretty old. We try to mention it twice at a show, but anyways, yeah.
I'm sure there'll be.
I was never a fan of Saw.
I love how Tasteless waited till game 3 for that plug. It was really refreshing.
Yeah, I'm
I
ready.
prefer, like, if
I'm
you're gonna
ready
do
for those
something like that,
matches,
something
no
like
doubt.
7, where it's way
I'm ready for
more
those appreciation
like
threads on that,
psychological
no
and
doubt.
discovery.
So, this game.
Yeah, my
he's
sister
doing
loved
it
Saw,
again.
Human Centipede,
Remember, in
Hostel,
We
like
saw,
literally all of the torture porns.
Barracks just go for the double racks.
13 Ghosts.
at the
I don't know
very
if I've
end.
seen that
It's
one
like,
either.
What an ending. And what a statement, by the way, on these scumbag Protosses going for Nexus first. And it, like, kind of a reminder, like, yeah, you can just get a free win. You can get an ASL free win doing that.
13 Ghosts.
I don't know if it's going to happen here, but
Highly
the more
recommend.
I'm seeing Snow do this, the more I'm like, okay, you should
13
actually
Ghosts.
just go for 9.
Kid friendly.
You know.
Movie
might
isn't
just-
terrible, but
Yeah,
really
yeah,
isn't
yeah,
too
might.
great
It
either.
is
Nothing
definitely
bad
a
in terms of
possibility.
gore. A couple of jump
But Snow
scares,
might
none of
be
them are
baiting
very
that as
good.
well. He might actually have a
Ghost
plan like
is a
do it twice,
topless
then
woman,
don't
but
do
the
it
most kids
anymore, and
13
then
are
you
will be
get-
mature enough to
maybe you
handle
get
it.
like a really easy victory later on. There's so many mind games involved. You know, that's just I love that about StarCraft. Like, for instance, you know, you mentioned yesterday with the
There's so many
the
good
double
movies,
proxy
though.
barracks in the free victory there.
There's been so many shit
it-
movies lately because everybody's regurgitating
I
like
don't know. It's just
the same
there's
series over and over, like
something
redoing
about
fucking Harry
trying
Potter,
to win
fucking
just through a plan.
just
It's like you make
Wheel
this
of
plan,
Time.
you're like, I think I know what they're
what's the
gonna
other
do.
one?
I'm gonna take this risk where I lose if I'm wrong, but I win if I'm right.
yeah, it
And it's
shows
just
Booba
oh
like
my
once or
God,
twice,
what
nothing
a
crazy.
decisive moment when you're playing in the hardest tournament in the world with the highest stakes on the line.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
You do
but,
movie
you know,
night, I vote
that's
you watch
one of the
13
fun things
Ghosts.
about StarCraft is the
Well,
fog of
usually
war.
the movie night
you
is
know?
anime
They
night.
actually interviewed Mike Morheim a long time ago.
Because
and
it's
asked
not
him
really
what he
night.
best.
Because it's like
Mike
4
Morheim, of course,
o'clock
made
my
all the
time when we do
classic
the movie
Wizard
night.
games. And they asked him what he was most proud of, and he said Fog of War.
Wow. There he
Because
is.
that really did change everything.
Callie, you literally
about
left
how
as
games
soon
like
as
this
she
were played. If you
appeared.
go back and play the old Command
Yeah, I don't watch
Conquer, you would,
anime.
like, scout them and then
Well.
just stare at their base and look at what they're doing
Are
forever.
we watching Princess Mononoke or Speed
But
Racer
yeah,
on
having
Sunday?
that Fog of War really changed stuff, and you know, forcing
Guys,
people
I
to
got
scout, and then the whole fact that
meat! You said
I mean,
that,
we never knew it
Callie.
would be this
You have
complex, but, like,
meat!
yeah, man, when do you scout? If you scout really early, you're not going to be mining. Like, there's a reason why you don't scout with one of the first 4 workers.
You got meat!
But, you know, there's these games where they're, like, not scouting at all. And, you know, that can make you pretty strong economically, but what if you are in a position that you're not aware of until it's too
Callie
late?
loves
There's
him
all
his
sorts of
meat,
crazy
just like me.
situations
I
that
love me my
you
meat.
can only really see in StarCraft, you know?
The game is. It still shocks
Let
me.
me see how many pounds.
This is the greatest
22 pounds of
example
meat.
that we are living in a simulation. Is that StarCraft 1 is this good? 'Cause
Yeah.
it shouldn't be. There's
It-
just no reason
yeah.
why the game shouldn't be broken yet. You know, it's just like, wait, the skill
sure.
ceiling is so infinite in every direction that all the matchups still work after 27 years. of people trying their best to break
27.5. I was pretty
everything,
close.
it
24
still
pounds. I was
works,
pretty
and it's
close.
Still balanced.
Yeah.
I was pretty close,
And
Callie.
for high price
That's a lot.
points,
How
right?
much did
It's
that
not just
cost
like
you?
the
That's been
game's
like a
popular.
couple $100
Oh, no,
bucks.
people are making a lot of money off of
That's
this. So it's
crazy.
like a high incentive for these strategic geniuses to really kind of
Make sure
break
you
the
ask
game.
him first, but you
And
put it
hasn't
on
really
a
happened yet.
scale.
I mean, we definitely have trends in the meta where things look really strong, but people find their way out. So cool.
It's very
Oh,
true. It's very
true.
true. I mean, we see that all the time. You know, it was like, what, a couple years ago, it really felt like 3-Hatch Hydra was a bit too strong in this matchup, and now it's like...
Contest
you don't
is
see it as much
important.
now.
Indeed.
You know, for the last year
Indeed.
or so, Terran vs. Zerg win rates against, you know, have been going down, but someone's going to figure something out, and it's going to rebound. We've seen it time and time again.
Consent. Oh. That too.
Okay, the Spire is going to be thrown down here. This
Was
game
it
looking
context?
much more in the realm of standard. Of course, you know, Snow did do a slightly greedier build. By the way, early on we saw Effort make his second base where his third base normally is. That's because you can cannon rush on this map.
We got to
This is the
measure
strongest cannon rush
and weigh
map, I
our
guess.
balls
Why
and
bother
dick, obviously.
even risking it if you
I'm
can
gonna get
just
so
avoid
big,
it.
guys. Hell
And he's
yeah.
gonna see all the eggs.
Context
It
is
looks like there
important,
should be
too.
mutas hatching. Yeah, good call for
Wait,
Snow to turn
context.
this around. Had he gone,
She
just a
said,
little
weigh
bit
your
further
meat.
south,
Don't
he
put
could
your meat
lose
on a
this
scale.
he could still
So we
take
were
some
weighing,
damage on this
we were
Corsair
weighing
to
your
get back
meat, and I
perfectly
said
to
your meat
safety.
was 24 pounds.
I think he has exactly enough that he's going to end up holding this okay.
So fat ass
The Mutas are
meat.
making a beeline towards that main base, but he's already got one photon cannon, another one coming up.
So my
and
meat
a
is gonna
second
get really
Stargate.
big, guys.
Yeah, second Stargate. So 2 Stargate.
Wait, we need
Corsair,
more
which has been
context.
so popular lately. And look at that, the flick shots that we're seeing. I think that's part of why 2 Stargate Corsair is getting so popular.
Oh my God, the control's really good. The Corsairs are stuck on the outside. He's got to loop them around. Perfect.
Dude, did you see him duck underneath the Scourge with the Corsair there? That was insane. He turned into the Scourge
Corsair,
and it lived.
It Matrix dodged it. It was wild.
We got Maverick over here. Oh my God. You kidding me?
His control with the Corsairs is perfect.
This is insane.
This is insane. I mean, Effort's actually bled off a lot. You really can't afford to lose too much here.
Yeah, he's lost like 12
I mean, especially with
Scourge
this
and like
double
3
Stargate, because
mutas.
They're going to have the counter to what you have. Oh my God, there's a bad rally. Either that or he's doing this on purpose to scout. I don't know. Do you really want to suicide a Corsair here?
You know
I guess he
what?
knows better than me. Maybe you do want to just run through here. Yeah.
He's got 2 Stargates.
You see one drone mining.
It kind of makes sense. He's like checking. He's like, oh God, you really don't have anything. It almost feels like it's a Mutalisk all in. Like Effort's been going so hard on this, but now Snow is sitting there on 2 Stargates plus 1 attack. That Corsair is still technically alive. We'll see if it can get back home. But this is looking really good for Snow.
Guys, I think...
I mean, Snow is going to make Effort look obvious.
Game 1 looked like Effort was going to 4-0. Now it looks like
+1
Effort's
air
not even going
weapons.
to pull
no,
a
he did.
game
So he
off
has
of Snow.
Oh God.
Snow
He's got
freaking
+1 air.
sat up and said, alright, let's
This
fucking
Corsair
go.
is
Let's
just gonna
fucking
buy
do this.
time.
I'm ready.
They'll
He put his
sacrifice
fucking
this
gamer
all the way
shoes
down
on.
to the obscurity of the bottom left side
If
of
you
the
know
map,
anything about
while
esports in
begins to
Korea,
push
he actually
towards
took
the
his gamer
bottom
shoes
right.
off. Because they usually
the
take their
Zealots
shoes off
don't-
when they play, because it's
Well, I
like
guess he's got
they
enough,
want to
yeah,
have the
+1
same kind of
kill off
environment
some
that they
of these
have when they're at
The
home,
exchange
right?
is a little bit
And you don't
awkward, I
play while your
thought.
shoes
And
are
by the way,
on
it
at
was double
home.
Hydra dead.
So they usually
I
take
have
their
to
shoes
imagine that
off
was
before they
deliberate.
play.
Yes. 100%. He needs to get into a Hydra bust before Storm.
Every single mute is
that's
dead.
his only chance for victory now. He's
They're all
getting
dead.
completely slammed. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this might just be GG.
Okay.
That was so
I
crazy.
mean, 2 Zealots, I think you just send it, man. You just start to kill everything. You are going to be able to lock him out of supply. He brings him down to 38 of 44.
He's got
There
2
are almost no
Hydras.
Overlords anywhere.
Yeah, he's just in
Okay,
GG.
that's it.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck it,
Basically,
it's not
Effort's
worth
tapped
my
out
time.
before the pain really begins.
So
Yeah, when you
crazy.
have that many Corsairs, you're going to kill every Overlord, and eventually Zealots are going to show up, and one by one, your Hydras are going to be killed off, and you're going to be overpowered.
Well, that was a dominating one from Snow. These Nexus first builds are really working out for him so far. Is Effort going to have to rethink his strategy now? It's crazy. He won on the most Protoss map and then just got completely dismantled on the next 2.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know which way is up anymore. This series is really not going how I expected.
It's interesting.
That's why I love this game. You can never
know,
predict anything. It's so crazy and
Snow-
volatile.
Snow played really well, but I gotta say, I felt like Effort kind of wanted to force something, and I think Snow handled it just perfectly. I love the suicided Corsair to just confirm, are you
Yeah.
all in, or are you making drones? Like, are you still making just Scourge and Mutas? Because it's gonna be go time pretty soon. I actually thought it was a bad rally. That was a little bit of projection from Caster Tasteless over here. I do that too. I hold off the
No,
right,
this
I
is
let
what
the
I
Corsair
do.
fly across the map. Not actually what's going on, apparently.
No.
Unless it was a bad rally and he just
For that.
decided to scout.
So,
No.
I don't know why he would have
Snow
rallied
leads
across
right
the
now,
map.
2-1. We're going to go to a commercial break in a moment here.
And that
And
line
is
is
giving
Snow's
Effort a
nose.
breather to kind of
Guys, I'm
reassess
super
where he
motivated right now.
wants to be in
Fuck
this
yeah,
series.
Callie. Okay, what are
And
you
how he's gonna
doing?
start fighting back
What are you
in set one
doing
with
to
this one back.
manifest that motivation, Callie?
esports pros, awareness is essential. That's why the Black Shark V3 Pro is tuned in to what matters.
Excuse me, Jesus. Watching anime. What anime are you watching, Callie?
Thank you for waiting, everybody.
Bless you,
We're
times
back.
four.
This
Thank you.
PvZ is
Thank you,
continuing
Chris.
on, and you know
Bless
the
you.
tenor
Thank
has
you, Cal.
really changed
Thank you, guys. I
since
appreciate
Game
it.
3. Snow
Times
is
4.
so scary.
He
I
really
played
is.
Nomad Sky.
That was just a fantastic game.
Queen
The thing
is
Effort
outdoing me.
is doing really decisive plays, and they haven't worked out for a couple of games. You know, it feels like he led Snow around on game 1, and then he like chose some aggressive things in game 2 and a very aggressive game 3 that looked like a Mutalisk all into me, and those didn't work. So does he recalibrate? The thing is, we don't know for sure.
Try
Is he
harder,
playing some of
Kelly!
this by feel? Does he have every game planned? Different people go about these series in different ways. Sometimes you're measuring what your opponent's doing and trying to figure out kind of the way that they're playing on a given day, and sometimes you already know what you're going to do on every map.
Litmus will be map number 4. You know, Effort has consistently been aggressive. He's been in the Protoss's face. It just seems like the last 2 times it kind of backfired.
Yeah, I feel
And
like
of course, is Snow
these
go
aren't
going
gonna
to
be long games. We only have an hour left.
Expand build that does put him in a really, really strong
4
economic
games, that's
position if he
each
gets
game
away
has to
with
be
it.
under 10 minutes.
That's what we gotta ask
Because then I have to leave like 15 minutes
don't know.
or
It's a
so
two-player map,
for the
so,
outro
I don't know
and
if he's
the
gonna go
interview.
for that, but let's do it, Tasteless.
So I'm kind of scared. Because if Effort wins, and he goes to 6 games, it means he wins the next 3 in a row. Otherwise, Snow's going to win 2, and Effort's going to win 1. And that's going to be the 3 games. And that's it. It's over.
Okay,
It's done.
Protoss in the bottom, Zerg in the top. This is a map you both share the right side. I don't know if there's any weird stuff you can do to exploit the predictable scouting patterns. You know, I guess double gateway could be good on this map, like proxied, but people really don't do that anymore. So I'll wait for that to just start to happen in ASL before I talk about it too much more. But it feels like Protoss still just want a fast expand here. The question is what kind, and of course, does Zerg have any way to punish that? Because Effort's shown he's very much inclined to be an aggro Zerg here and try to get his lumps in early on.
I actually really wonder how the balance of this map goes, because, you know, you do have that extra gas. These 2 gases reach 3,000, so they do run out more quickly, but like that is potential extra gas for Protoss to get more High Templars if they need. Yeah, I'm not really sure, honestly. I feel like I've seen, out of all the maps, I think I've seen more Roaring Currents PVZs than I've seen Litmus PVZs. So I don't know if you have a thought on how that second gas in the main base affects this matchup.
I don't know. I have a hard time. I think we both have kind of been incorrect a couple times in predicting where the second gas is going to come into play.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I guess you can. You know, Protoss maybe need gas in this matchup more than anybody needs gas in a matchup, if that makes sense. Like, you really need Templars. You really need Storm. You're basically just getting all your upgrades as fast as you can. And the only thing that's stopping you from getting any faster is the extra gas. So maybe there's a world where you could get your important, you know, as an example, you could get Observer Vision Range and probably the Templar Energy upgrade much faster on this map after you fast expand, right?
For sure. You could.
That's got to be strong.
Yeah.
You could, in theory, be going for Corsairs and I guess going for 2 Forges, but then maybe there's something mathematically where that doesn't make sense because you are spending so much in upgrades that you don't have the kind of army that you need. I'm not totally sure.
Well, taking a look, Tasteless, this is like overpool speed, isn't it? So
yeah, this is a strong build.
Yeah, if Snow was able to throw his Nexus down before his cannon, it looks like he's sitting there to make a secondary cannon. And, of course, he'll probably throw the gate up and maybe bring a couple probes to make sure that he blocks this. But Overlord, I mean, Overpool speed is like, that's pretty darn aggressive What do you think about this build in general? Oh, he's sending a drone. Is he going to hop the Lings over the back?
Oh,
Oh
he
my
is. He
God.
is. My initial thought was
Oh
that
my
you
God.
need to send a second probe out and hide it somewhere to scout. But yeah, you're right. He's just going to try to hop Lings over. And you can see Snow's running back here. Oh, I mean, Snow could just die here. Speedlings in your main in a moment like this is going to be so bad. So what he wants to do is he wants to have this mining so that the drone can't mine, because there's 48 minerals here. Oh, he's actually attacking through and hitting the Lings. Oh.
This is wild. This is wild.
He's going to try to skip him one more time.
Okay, he's got one. Can you just make a cannon? Yeah, I was going to say make a cannon in your main, and you can see how he actually curved the second cannon there back to block his minerals a little bit in case the Lings do get in. It feels like Snow already has the right plans. That's a very quick layer in Hydra Den, tasteless.
Effort's going to go for something really cheesy here. I don't know if the Hydra Den is a red herring and he wants to go mutas in case he was scouted, or if he wants to do like a lurker bust or a lurker drop. We're going to see. This is a wild and crazy game. I'll go back to my initial point, which was that usually when you see the overpull into Lings with speed, you gotta hide a scout because you need to figure out what the follow-up is. You know, there's so many things Protoss have to be ready for, and if they prepare for one thing and not the other, they are going to be in a really bad spot.
Do you think, like, where the cannons are placed, it doesn't look like Lurker Bust is very good? Could, like, Lurker Drop possibly?
Well, I think it's going to be Lurker Bust, but Lurker Drop is fine too. You know, Lurker Drop's really scary because it's really tough to cover everything with cannons in your main. And if you lose your main, by the way, I mean, you're just dead. He's got Lings running around here on the inside, so he can see where things are positioned.
And the Lurker,
this is
Lurker Bust builds are 3 Lurkers, and that is how many he's making. It looks like he might go through the back. Okay, that makes some sense, right? Like, use the Lurkers to maybe kill those buildings. And in fact, he's going to pop a probe here and see those incoming Hydralisks. Oh my God, Snow is just so on top of everything Effort's doing. That tells him everything about what's happening in this game.
Oh my God, he can't even kill the probe either. So he's going to see what's happening over here. Can you bump a Lurker over? I'm not sure how this works. Or maybe you just want to have 3 Lurkers blow up everything. Well, and have them run through.
We actually saw Shine do this before, where if you morph those 3 in a line right there, Lurkers are much bigger than the Hydras or Eggs, so they will displace each other and they will start to dance over each other. So I bet you he gets at least 2 of them over with this.
He needs to make a cannon pronto. He's going to make 2 over here. He needs to get a block up. Oh my God! I mean, Snow can win.
This
but
is
like
why are Zergs being so fucking cheesy?
Can he make a pylon?
He didn't get any of them.
Could you wall this off with pylons?
He didn't
slow it down.
get any of
that
them.
That would slow down the Lurkers. They'd have to kill the pylons as well. Oh, he's using burrow, unburrow. So he gets 1 out immediately. Can that hit the minerals from behind here? Oh, that's such a well-placed cannon. Oh my God.
But maybe the cannon covers it just right. The Lurker's fat enough, you can't just run by a Zealot. Now, remember, you know...
He's like, yeah, fuck this, I'm out.
Pretty gracefully
Everett's like,
all this tech. He's making probes the whole time. Zergs,
and this is what happens when your plans fail.
Hatchery being produced. Oh, I guess you can hit that 1 pass, by the way.
This is kind of a funny little attack.
It's one of those things where you look like a genius when you win, but you look like a retard when you lose.
They target down immediately the Corsair so that he doesn't end up losing a bunch of Overlords. Might actually target 1, hurt 1 down with that Dragoon, but it looks like he's having a hard time getting it to fire correctly. The 2 Zealots going up towards that main base.
Yeah, the Zealots can just come in here and do damage wherever. And, you know, it's funny. Someone might look at that and be like, how does he know he can hit with 2 Zealots and a Dragoon? That's like not... This looks like an early game PvT. It's because the only thing that's really been made is Lurkers. You know? Oh, and he gets this observer out in time. So he rushed into OBS tech. He's going to get a kill on that lurker. Beautifully done. He'll keep the forge protected.
And he's only gotten like 2 kills out of that, so it's
And
like this
I
is
guess the
not
forge
even worth
can't be
it.
killed, so the +1 attack upgrade can't be stopped.
Yeah.
Oh man,
This,
Artosis
everything
right now,
everything is
Snow is looking so good. It looks like he's going to win game 3.
Yeah.
Look at this. These zealots will come down.
So I think
here.
Effort's
There's
going to win the
nowhere for
next
this
one's
lurker
going to be
to run.
4-2.
And Zerg's obsolete.
All of Effort's little tricks this game have not gone the way he had hoped. He had a hard time getting everything to jump. I can't believe he brought a probe up and finished that exactly. That's insane.
Yeah, crazy.
What am I even looking at? Snow is so dialed in right now. It is ridiculous watching how well he's playing. And now pushing out with some of these zealots. There's not like a lot of options here, it feels like, for Effort. It's like, okay, yeah, he brings up some lurkers. That'll slow down like the zealots from really doing anything. But I don't know what the continuation is for Effort. If you're going to win this game, like, what road do you go down?
Oh, it's so hard, Artosis. I mean, at this point in time,
He might get it.
By the way, he is going to try to get this forge here. He's basically doing everything he can to stop +1 from finishing. So he does do that, and he does kill these zealots off. So that's a small victory.
No +1.
The problem is that if you're making probes and you get all your cannons up and you're getting your tech up, you can fill the gateways in later. Some games Protoss get a couple gateways earlier. Other games it's much later. But like, remember that in other games you see in PvZ, the Zerg is getting like, 5 or 6 hatches with healthy production right now. This is a Zerg that's barely on 4 hatches.
There's only 2 Corsairs out and 1 cannon in the main. I actually really like this idea of the lurkers. I mean, it continues down this kind of all-in style that Effort is playing in general, but I think the mutas are a really, really good call here. It's not like there's a Dark Archon ready. It's like, yeah, I guess you could make Archons, but he's already got lurker tech out, so like, he doesn't have to stay on mutas. I really like the idea
Red
of making
cloak
this
on the
group of
DT
mutas and
looks
just
so
making
badass.
things even more difficult for Snow to deal with.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea. It really shows you how well-versed Effort is at like different stages of aggro, especially on a map this specific. I think the play is to not go for
He's gonna have a
Storm
Sunken
too
here
fast
at
and
least.
instead just get an Archon and start to try to push out on the map. Now, he's keeping 2 Templars, so maybe he already got Storm and has decided he just wants to try to get some value with this. But, again, the scary thing that's coming is this eventual push. Protoss is going to have so much, and Zerg will have so little. And, as long as he keeps the Corsairs alive, he's basically fine. Scourge are being bled off right now.
I feel like Effort's falling apart.
Effort's still being shut down a little bit, but he is making Snow do a lot of things. Like, there's a lot that has to be countered here. Oh, that's so funny.
That's so funny. You actually don't
Fucked
need
up his
this, by
mind.
the way.
Yeah.
Once you have the Templar Archives and you have the Zealot speed upgrade, you literally can get rid of that. And unless you lose your Templar Archives later, you don't need that. But that is funny to see that it literally in the way.
That is, yeah, it's like Zerg has that too with the Queen's Nest. Like once you have the hive started, the Queen's Nest doesn't matter. So a lot of people put it in front of the sunken colonies to just buy time. But yeah, it's kind of like a funny in these weird progressions of tech. But does knock that out. He's got the 3 gas, which we were kind of talking about before. Effort still being pretty active with the Muta Scourge. He's not really finding a lot, but an observer kill rather, not too bad.
He's going to go for a contain, and with really good control between
He needs a 4th
Scourge,
base,
Muta,
though.
and Hydra. If you can take out observers, that's big. I hope he's getting observer sight range and speed, because that's going to make this much, much, much easier to manage. And you're basically entirely invested. Oh my God, he's so good.
What?
That was
changes
so
everything.
cute.
So you're invested in just anchoring everything into this position. If you can stop him from taking a 3rd base and stop him from leaving, that's huge. Now you might be asking yourself, but what about the back of the base? Okay, if he goes out the back, the same way the lurkers tried to come in, you attack into the natural. He's also setting up for drop. Suddenly, Artosis, I think that Snow could lose this game. This is wild.
Yeah, it really felt like he was
The
super
back
far
and
behind for a long
forth in
time.
this
I can't
series
believe
has
he's
been
setting up a mess drop now.
absolutely
Effort
crazy.
uses every single thing that's available. And look at this. He even draws the Corsairs over there with the mutas. He just sacked the mutas to bring everything out of position. And now he's going to drop the main base. Effort is such a master statistician. Oh my God, I can't even speak. But look at this drop coming in.
He's a statistician.
Like, oh, this is going to be so dirty to clean up.
Yeah. You know, if he gets that Templar Archives, you can't make Templars anymore because you don't have the Citadel. I doubt that Effort knows that's been killed off, but, like, that's pretty big. He is going to send everything back over here. There's no Overlords to spot and kill this Observer. And so Snow is just going to keep the ball rolling here. He's going to have to send his workers back and try to defend.
See, and then he just gets him to waste the storms inside of his own base.
But then he's got to try to come out once again and go for a push.
And now you have to watch for drops for the rest of the game. And we saw how good Effort was with those drops in the very first game. I just heard another Observer die. He's really taxing the Observers here. Like, everything that Effort is doing is just making this so difficult. I can imagine how frustrating this must be as Protoss.
Oh, it's really hard to deal with. And, you know, you have the threat of another drop coming into the main. You have the... Okay, he's going to do it again. You know, just keeping Protoss back here dealing with this is a lot. Okay, hold on. The probes are going to come through here. It looks like he will protect them. He's going to do it over here, too. This is a great play. He's going to come into the front.
Look at those
He's
storms.
everywhere. It's insane.
It is insane. He's setting up so
Oh my God!
Over 400 APM right now. Fastest player in the ASL, even faster than Barracks. Just doing so many things at once, and Snow is having a really hard time parrying everything.
Now, he's broken out. It's finally going to be the Protoss' turn. Can Zerg do another drop?
But
Yeah,
Snow has
he's
no
gonna do one more
money.
Drop to pull everything back into the main. And it looks like this is actually going to be interrupted. This is maybe the most important part of the game here for Snow's sake. Because he's going to kill these Overlords off. He's going to kill these Hydras off. And then it's finally going to be Protoss' time to push. All Effort's been trying to do is curb progress.
Oh, he got it.
For Snow. And
Jesus.
Snow's finally broken free. There's no counterattack option. And now it's going to be Snow's moment to push. And Snow also, by the way, can finally take a third base. He's about to dry up on 2 bases. And the same is probably true
Oh,
for
he
Effort
stormed
here.
his own Corsairs.
Oh, man, storming his Corsairs is not a pretty sight.
Well, sometimes they have to eat a bit of damage here. He's pushing as quickly as he can across the map, trying to take this advantage that he's built for himself in this very chaotic game and do something with it. Does he have a storm there on that High Templar? It's just Dragoons fighting, but it is a huge amount of Dragoons.
This might be GG.
He's got an absurd amount of Dragoons, enough to basically fight on both sides.
Doesn't
If
have
he
a
gets some
storm,
Zealots
though.
and Templars and send it in, I think this game's over. I think Snow has just barely, just narrowly won this game. But a Lurker drop comes in. The targeting's insane. Again, though, things are falling apart at the natural.
Yeah, Effort has almost
I
nothing
think-
left over. I can't imagine him hatching enough out of these eggs to actually end up clearing these. It looks like his natural's going to fall. He's
Damn.
going after the Spire right now. Does end up picking that off, and GG is going to be called.
Oh, shit.
Snow
Match-
leading
match
3-1
point.
now. Just some dominating play.
Guys, I think
Choking
Snow
on my own
might
spit
win
here,
the
seeing
fucking
that game.
ASL.
That was so sick, dude.
That was sick.
He played.
Yo, Raymondo,
so
how's it going, good sir?
kidding
How
me?
are you?
I'm
How's your day going?
dying over here. It's so good.
That's how
it
good
looked like there
Effort's
was no
play
way
was.
Protoss could make that work.
Yeah, all the Protosses watching just lost the game, but Snow ended up winning it. It looked like Snow was going to dominate him from A to Z, and then Effort just set up so many things at once.
Got another
Dropping
essay
the
for
main
us
base,
today,
dropping
Raymond?
to kill probes, picking off High Templars. He was doing so much at once, so many high-level moves, that he almost came back from like a terrible position. I actually thought he was going to win for a minute. And then Snow just barely got it together. I think you're right when he caught the drop that was going to come into the main. If he was
Hell
a few
yeah.
seconds late and Effort drops in the main again, I think Effort wins that game easily.
That's so insane, man. You know, it's like he just
I feel like Snow's just going to win
was
the next
barely
game, and this
holding
is
off
going to be
everything
it.
from Effort. And even at the very end, I think he probably had his probe count cut in half. But
Yeah.
once he denied that final drop, when he pushed out and he was able to
Yeah,
get Hydra's and
that
Corsair
stopping that
diving
drops what
onto
won in the game.
Overlords,
I watched a YouTube video
that
and
was
went,
when it was,
this
go
can't
time for Snow.
stand.
Had the drop gotten in one more time, the Corsairs weren't there, the Dragoons hadn't
Interesting.
scouted that,
You
it
want to
could have
drop
been,
the
Snow
YouTube
pulled
video?
back into his base, and the Lurker Contain would have continued on. Effort is looking so scary.
What
but
was
right
the
now,
YouTube
Snow
video
is in
about?
a very, very healthy lead with 3-1.
All right, we're going to go into knockout next. This is a Snow pick. This does have that little trough that makes it harder to Hydra bust, but that won't necessarily stop Effort from trying. We shall see. Let's go into map number 6.
Map number 5.
Or 5. Map number 5. I was counting. I'm like, how could it be
Wait.
map 6 if it's 3-1 right now?
But that means that then Effort has to win on map 8, and that can't be possible.
Yeah, they say that you are the average of the people that you surround yourself with, and there's so many Protoss in this season that my IQ
He's retarded because of the Protoss. I've turned into an ape.
Right now, we've
Protosses
got
are
Effort in the
apes.
bottom right. We've got Snow in the bottom left. And let's see what kind of game we're going to get. You know, Effort has chosen every time to play with a lot of very aggressive ideas. And for the most part, Snow basically has stopped them. You know, we talked about this before the series started. Snow doesn't really do that much crazy stuff. He's not like Mini, where he's going to go up to 6 DTs in the mid game. He's not exactly like Bisu, where he's going to be sending Zealots out all over the place and getting mass Corsair Zealot to take a fight. You know, Best has done a million different weird openings in PvZ, and Snow's not doing any of them this time around. But what Snow
Fighting!
is doing here is just playing very solid, honorable Protoss. He's just defending, and you know, Effort is getting so close, like on a razor's edge, close to just.
Damn, that's
Just
an old
getting to the
shirt.
tipping point
CJ
of the game.
Entis.
And by the way, Effort is time for a mass Hydra bust. You might be right, but this time it's going to be 9-pull Speedling. Now,
Oh.
9-pull Speedling is different than what we've already seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
For those that aren't paying super close attention,
Overpool is different than
no,
9
wait a minute. Is he gonna
pool
get a
speed.
gas? He's just going to go for 9.
You know what?
pull,
Effort
no
might win
speed.
this if
Oh,
he
okay.
goes for Nexus
So
first.
it's 9-pull extractor trick.
Yeah. And it's actually an end scout out of Snow here. So he's checking those close spawns. He's getting, bringing this pro up. It looks like he is just going to blindly make Forge. Yeah, there it
Okay, yeah,
is.
no, he's not
So
doing
that's
Nexus
actually going to be
first.
really important that he started his Forge and didn't just go for a Nexus first here.
Mm-hmm.
And as the probe comes up and scouts, yeah, he's going to see exactly what this is. And I believe against this, you just throw down 2 cannons, right?
Yeah. It's a little bit of an annoying opening to play against his Protoss. I don't think Snow is going to have any issues. But you are greatly slowed down by your Nexus. So you, like, there you go. You've got to get the 2 cannons here. Now, you know, Slowlings, oh, I love the block, by the way. This is very, very on purpose. He's basically right-clicking this ahead. The Lings should be slightly faster than the probe, but the probe is body blocking. Okay, and he turns around.
Saving you that 1.5
the
second to
next
get the
play is to
cannons
get a
up.
Nexus here, I think.
Everything you can do.
Does he want to block the ramp at all with the 2 probes?
Huh.
I guess not.
Well, with the Lings following this probe right now, I guess he doesn't have to worry about it right at this moment. The Nexus gets started. The probe continues to run away. That drone kind of coming up behind. I'm not... Is he just going to take his 3rd in the top right, it looks like? Yeah, I guess so. The way he maneuvered the drone, I thought he was going to take 3. I don't know if he was trying to do that to throw Snow off or something, but yeah, there's his 3rd base in the top right natural.
So, on the surface, this looks like a game where the Zerg wants to turtle. Snow has a great guide on his YouTube about this style of play, which is if you can confirm they're turtling, because by the way, they could just Hydra bust with this. That's like one of the super cheesy plays. Is you show them this and you think, oh man, I got to get ready. He's going to go to Hive, and then just Hydras come across the map and kill you. But if he does in fact turtle, the play is to basically mass up Dragoons and an Archon and Corsairs, and you don't get Templars right away because you're not afraid of mass Hydra if they're turtling. And you just camp outside of their natural and try to kill buildings that are blocking. Now, on this map, you have that divot you have that little half pipe right here in the middle of our screen. And you, okay, never mind, it doesn't matter. He is going to do the Hydra Bust. So he's going super cheesy, but it's misleading because of what you see on the surface here.
Well, you know, this is one of those maps where you don't expect the Hydra Bust as much. That's why that little divot is there, is to make Hydra Busting a bit weaker, since some of the Hydras will be missing shots shooting up to the high ground. You know, that's, again, it's part of what we looked at and said, okay, this looks like they're trying to get maybe a Protoss champion this season, maybe trying to stop Sulky overall, because a lot of these things specifically help Protoss. But that doesn't mean it's still completely easy to hold. Like, you can still just shove a ton of Hydras
this
and
poor
win the
drone.
game. Like we were talking about in map 1, it's like, because it's not a strong strategy, you might underestimate it or count it out when you haven't been able to scout it.
Yeah, because you assume no one's going to do it, and then you don't defend against it, and then you die.
And Effort needs to have
That's
perfect
the
body
meta.
blocking. He doesn't. This slips through. Did a Hydra hatch here? Okay, it just now hatches. So that's
He's
all you need
seen
to
everything that happens every time.
see. And I love the Zealot running all the way down the mineral patch. He's just going to buy so much time. Oh, Snow, this is so annoying. Effort wants to be moving across the map, but instead he's going back to where his starting location is. Now Hydra's speed's done. And, you know, I guess we talked about the, you know, the fact that there's a low ground area here. Look at the placement of the buildings. I guess Snow doesn't actually have that much room for extra cannons. Can he fit only one more cannon back there? Maybe two? I think two.
It is pretty annoying, actually. There's really not a lot of room. I can't tell if you can fit one between that cannon and the Nexus. It looks like no. Can you? Is there a spot there?
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess there is actually. The pylon
can be pretty deceiving.
Yeah, the pylon actually is in between those, so he could fit a second row of cannons, at least 2 of them, right next to the Nexus. But yeah, right now 4 cannons, 2 Zealots are going to be the defense. Kind of checks what it looks like there with his Zergling. Another hatchery on the way.
He's ditching this.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Layer at the top right.
I love the layer at the top right. That's so annoying. By the way, Snow doesn't blink. Snow just sticks with his 4 cannons, says, yeah, no, there's nothing coming across the map. He's got 2 Corsairs that are doing a very thorough job confirming that there's nothing else attacking here. He does send the Hydras in, and I'm guessing what he wants to do is see if he can get an angle on the Forge. But, you know, 3 Zealots actually can fight this no problem. You can just A-click that and start to macro back at home. This is going to be a lot of effort, no pun intended, to put into those 2 Hydras to actually take this fight.
Oh, don't lie. You intended that pun. Now
I did not intend that pun.
Oh, wow. You're just such a natural comedic genius.
I would
My
never
bad.
intend that pun.
My bad, Tasteless. You're the greatest. I actually wonder if there's a chance he goes back into the Hydra Bus. I've seen that occasionally in, like, ladder games where, like, they'll start to drone, make a hatchery. The Corsairs are like, okay, add your gates. This is done. And then suddenly a bunch more Hydras are made and sent across the map. But it looks like, yeah, he's just still droning.
So this is another game where Effort tried something pretty sneaky, and now he's on his back foot. Momentum going onto Snow's side. He's going up to 4 gateways with Zealot speed being upgraded. A Templar Archives coming as well. Effort going to turtle up. So I can go back to the initial thing I was saying earlier about what Protoss needs to do here.
If this is a long game, I think Snow's just going to win.
Dragoons with range and basically hit
I think it's going to be a 4-1. This is so sad.
Outside front, like the hatchery over here in the middle, or the hatchery up over here in the center left. And you can basically get a huge punish that way. It's also great to get a shuttle to drop units into the mains here, because they end up being so building reliant that a couple of Zealots or DTs can be very hard to manage.
You know, I remember seeing this turtle style so frequently used back in like 2018-ish, 2019-ish. We saw it so much from like Larva and Sulky. We're like god tier at this. They used it all the time. The 4-base split just like this. The hatcheries in front, the Sunkens behind, maybe some lurkers added in later, go up to Hive, that type of thing. It was really, really popular, but very few people did what you suggest. Like, we saw so many people just be like, I'm going to attack this over and over, and then end up losing. So I'm hoping that Snow does approach this in a more methodical way. But right now, He actually just runs it with a bunch of speed zealots, and there's not a lot here, but he does get a couple of lurkers, and there's an egg on the ramp. So I think he will end up holding this and saving this base.
Yeah, it's very risky to try to come in here like that. Between turtled sunken colonies,
Those
and
poor
lurker tech,
lurkers.
it's just really tough to get in here and actually take a fight. The Corsairs are going to kill this off. An early third base, by the way, is also a great move, like we're seeing Snow do here now. There's a point where you got to look at it and go, all right, well, we're going to not attack each other for a while here. But, by the way, Snow's not doing what he talks about. He's got Storm. He might have decided that this was turtle play a little bit too late, so he kind of evolved into the tech that he's got now, and he's going to try to play the game from here.
Well, it was enough. That'll
Great
kill it.
size Storm there. Any lurker kill you'll always take, and he goes up to 4 bases. So this
Queen's
is another
Nest going up
approach
to
you
Hive.
can have versus just like a 2-base push. And I guess maybe this makes a little bit more sense because in some ways it's like, yeah, but there is that low ground area. I remember, obviously you know him, Artosis, but Spunky a long time ago told me about this play style because I remember even back then this is like before StarCraft 2 came out.
Yeah.
He was explaining to me that like what you really want to do is just get all your upgrades and like all your gateways and not worry about having a ton of units because they're just going to have like, they're attacking too. They almost want you to attack into them. And I guess once you see the third, obviously a fourth makes sense.
Totally.
And just be ready for a super dramatic late game.
Well, yeah, and with Snow specifically, anytime he takes a mineral base in this matchup, he immediately takes the 4th base. Like it's like a leapfrogging maneuver. I've seen him do it countless times on like Polypoid and basically any map with a 3rd base that's a mineral base. Like he'll take that, throw down some cannons, and just kind of utilize that to get the 4th base, and he really gets his macro going. So this is a situation where Snow is very, very, very well practiced on this 4-base type of economy. Effort over here is turtling so insanely hard. I think without doubt, we'll just see him rush up to Hive here, get Zergling and Crackling upgrades, Defiler, that type of thing. But yeah, we're going to see a nice big macro game. Our first, I think, real macro game in the round of 8 so far, I would say.
Yeah, I think you're right, Artosis. Everything else has been so kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So what Zerg's doing is they're going to go right into that kind of, it's almost like crazy Zerg in this matchup. By the way, I love him expanding again. So he's going to see with the Dragoons if he can pick anything else off out there. But yeah, Snow just goes back. He's going to get a ton of bases. He's going to have cannons everywhere. I think Reaver Tech is appropriate. I think in some ways Protoss, when they do this style, they're basically skipping mid-game, which almost doesn't sound like that's a thing, but you can do that.
By the way, there's 2 Defiler Mounds going down purposefully here from Effort. He wants to consume and plague right away. It kind of makes sense because it takes actually a long time for Plague to get out if you go consume and then Plague. But Plague is like one of the ultimate weapons against Protoss. Like Plague farming is so broken, like in every matchup. If you just get Plague, like it is unbelievably powerful. And it has to be very frustrating
Infinite
for Protoss because there's no
energy.
way to refill your actual health.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Like the
No, it's super
body
painful. You
plating.
get plagued and you go, okay, well, these are almost worthless. A couple lurker
and then
shots,
all
it's
units
gonna be
do
gone.
full damage to
But
shields.
I don't know, man.
So any kind of armor that you have
I
is
look at
useless.
this from Effort's position. It's like, okay, he looks scary, but like 5 base Protoss
Yeah.
with Snow having another main with a roaming Protoss army. No doubt, maybe like 70 plus probes here.
Well,
This is going to not be that easy here for Effort. I think a lot of Zergs are used to Protosses attacking into them and kind of bleeding units, and then they have a very easy game when it's the Crackling upgrade and Defilers with Swarm, and you kind of just start to throw things at them. You can use drops and everything else like that. But Snow, if you look at what his army is right now, it looks like an army that you would have pushed with like right when you were taking your 3rd base. This is a 5-base Protoss where everything's defended. Templars are at each location. Snow's almost maxed out, by the way.
Yeah, Effort does have enough supply to just hold on, though. The one thing, whenever I see a game that looks like this, by the way, because I know how hard it is to break Zerg defense, I always think to myself, and I know we saw this a little bit last season because of one specific map, but I just want to see Protoss go recall more often in these situations. Like an Arbiter with, I just don't see another way to actually finish Zerg other than transporting.
I don't think so, Artosis. I think an Arbiter is a death sentence. Your army's going to get stuck inside their main, you know? And a lot of times you're really less interested in trying to, you know, it's not like they're Terran units, right? Like Terran, you recall, they got to send everything back in there. Zerg, it's pretty easy to send everything up there and kind of wipe you out. And they could always just counterattack and kill you everywhere else. You know, Zerg units get to places easily in a way that Terran units don't. It's kind of like, you know, when you see Protoss try to run back in their base when lurker drops happen, that's like a recall. That's like really hard to deal with. It's hard to get your units in and out of these kind of narrow areas. But a recall is expensive. I mean, I guess maybe there's a moment it could be used, but I think you're better off just splitting the map in half, pushing, controlling.
These Templars have
The
full
goal is not to kill
energy.
a Zerg's main. You don't care about that. They have that. They're going to have that for the rest of the game. You could try storm dropping it with speed shuttles. That'll kill stuff off in there. But as far as like killing the hatcheries and wiping it out, I don't think that's worth your army.
Well, Tasteless, in my final act of life when I turn 100, I'm going to switch to Protoss and go recall against Zerg because
I know
pushing through the Dark Swarm plus Plague, like I don't know that there's a real way to do it. Like for any race, it's just the Defiler is such the ultimate defensive unit. It is so unbelievably difficult to break Defiler-based positions. And it's like, yeah, I mean, you know, Dark Storm's stopping all ranged attacks, and then it's like they just plague anything that comes in. Lurkers shred zealots, and it's like, well, damn, how do we actually kill effort here?
Well, that's the whole thing. I think you don't want to kill him. I think you want to just stay back because
Yeah.
the longer that you stay in the game, the worse it's going to get. Protoss with half the map, it's kind of all you need. It's like when Terran gets half the map versus Protoss. You're like, oh, well, this is going to be fine.
Well, we
I'll
got
be okay
one of
long
them.
term. Oh, can he?
If
get
you
this,
plague, it
Defiler?
reveals units.
I don't know if he got it.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess he did. Looks like it. Well, that's
big.
Only a mild annoyance now that there's no Defiler up there. A lot of cracklings being produced, more Defilers coming out as well. You know, it is very hard to go up and kill Protoss also. You know, if you're sitting there, you have a ton of Psystorm. Maybe we'll see some Reavers really added in throughout the map at some of these defensive locations. Obviously, the upgrades are getting
Reavers
fantastic.
kill like friggin' 20
attacking
links.
each other just becomes really, really hard. Like going up these hills against lurkers and everything, it really is going to come down to grinding with spells.
Okay.
I think this might be it, though.
He's ready to push. Basically, all of the map is secure right now for Protoss. He's got cannons, he's got Templars. He might even have Dark Archons to catch drops. And now you just basically play a slow game. 2 shuttles and Reavers, keep everything together. I guess he's going to push in here a little bit faster than I expected, but you get the idea. And you can take on insane amounts of Zerg units.
Dude, look at the amount of Overlords having to evacuate from there. He's going to lose this mineral base. Not necessarily the end of the world. A huge amount of units are going for a counterattack. I actually thought he was coming down to sandwich this army, but instead going to attack into here. Now, there is a few High Templars in here with a lot of energy, but good splitting on the Lurkers overall. Damn.
I mean, the storms are beautiful. I don't...
Yeah, the whole... Yeah,
How
this
does
seems...
Zerg win now?
This seems so
Such
bad.
a beautiful play here from Snow. I mean, you know, just strategically kind of identifying that a turtling Zerg rushing to Defilers has no threats on the board, and therefore can't stop a Protoss that just plays conservatively, as in defensively, and just takes the left side of the map. You're against a Protoss that... I mean, Protoss never get this many bases, man. You never see
Protoss has more
when they're this
bases than
big.
Zerg.
And Zerg is basically on 4 bases. I guess there's a fresh 5th base. We see drones making a little drone snake their way up there to take that. But, like, you know Snow's going to just push in that location. There's got to be something like 20 Templar in this game defending just everything and everywhere. Unable to get anything done here is Zerg.
There's so many High Templar on the map right now. It might be time, Tasteless, for Spawn Broodling. Let's go, Effort.
Yeah, let's go, man. Spawn Broodling.
Spawn Broodling against Arbiter's
this
Tasteless, the true end game.
That's
as
right.
a Terran imagines
and maybe this
it.
time Artosis, as you've asked me so many times, where maybe this time he can go carrier finally and do it against Zerg.
Oh, no, not this time, Tasteless. This isn't the right moment. No. This isn't it.
This isn't the moment for carriers. So, you know, he's going to kill this base off. The next target's going to be there. There is going to be a counterattack. We know there's Templars on the map. You know, Protoss doesn't have the biggest army in the world right now. They've just got enough cannons, Archons, and then just kind of a general set of Protoss material like DTs and Archons and Zealots. And
Hydras are pretty strong without storms.
And let's say that Effort does break this. Okay. Well, then
yeah, it's only the mineral base. Look at their banks.
Really losing money
4.7k to 3k.
Yeah,
he's maxed out.
Very expensive for Effort to even break through the cannons at this point.
Effort's got 3k.
And he clears that all up really, really quickly. These Cracklings going to attack in. Those were sitting there for a while. Another little attack coming up. The funny thing about Cracklings is that they can actually kill Reavers still. That doesn't even really feel like it makes sense. But if you plague the Reaver, they actually chew through it relatively quick. But yeah, all these spots, like, I love the way that Snow is applying pressure, where he's just like running up and like bludgeoning some of these areas. Effort's trying to set up these mineral bases, but having a really hard time of it.
Yeah, the storms are beautiful. You know, the more lurkers you kill over time, and yeah, I learned a lot from
with the
Snow
more storms,
in one
because
of his
storms are
educational
free if
videos,
you can
and
keep the
a
Templar.
lot of times you just storm, just look for a storm. If you don't kill it, it's okay. Just storm over time. The more storms you get off and keep your army alive, you're eventually going to win the game. We've got another attack over here at the natural.
Cracklings are fucking insane.
Dude, Cracklings,
and, you know, I gotta
they
say,
just
Effort's putting up a
explode.
good fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cracklings are good units. He should really fill this entire bottom location up with cannons and put Reavers here.
Yeah, the attack speed of those Cracklings is just insane how quickly they're chewing through some of these buildings. Effort is putting on like very good pressure. You know, he's got right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bases, and he's taking 2 more. And like the constant counterattacks of the Zerglings, like this is the most important thing that he can be doing right now, because those are very, very expendable. And if he can throw down a few plagues here and there with that, a Dark Swarm here and there, he can start popping a few Nexuses. You know, most of
Snow's
Protoss
not
is
going to
ranged.
defend this base.
Yeah.
Yeah, what Snow wants to do is come up here and poke out all of these bases and basically force a reset, because right now, all of Effort's bases are about to mine out.
Well, you know,
he's
Effort is actually cleaning this pretty well. He's going to lose that hatchery for sure. Ooh, some really quality Psy Storms there. Really, really, really messing up. My God, he has a lot of Psy Storms. Kadarian Amulet is a good upgrade. But yeah, Snow almost losing a base there, but he has killed a couple Effort bases during that time.
Oh, excuse me. Look how fast that one Ling kills it.
Yeah. We have...
But they're all going to get blown up.
we have a continuation of this attack up here. I think the top right main is almost mined out, which means all that Effort has is the 2 bases at the top. One just finished, and the other one's the mineral only. You know, mineral only is going to be pretty handy for just massing up Zerglings, but...
Yeah. Effort is
again,
broke.
Protoss can kind of just push
He's fucking rich his balls.
that were denied earlier, and probably try to fight from there. You know, it's a Protoss that's maxed out. Effort has a lot of money and can't quite spend it all. Kind of crazy.
You know, we have like a lot of Reavers out here, a lot of Archons, a lot of Zealots. So like he has a very good anti-Crackling army at this point, which is, I feel like, why we're seeing a few extra Hydras mixed in there. Hydras are really, really good against Archons. You can target them down super, super quick with Hydralisk. So I think that's why we're seeing them, even though, you know, Hydras are not like really the unit you want in the late game. They're still going to be somewhat useful. Great Plague goes down there on some of the Zealots. Definitely wants that to get in there and help him to whittle these down a bit quicker.
Yeah, as long as he has Storm with this, you know, Reavers are great, but you do want a couple Templars here for Psy Storm. You know, the problem right now is that Snow doesn't have a counter push coming out here, and Effort is reclaiming these bases. Snow, in this very moment, needs to counterattack. You can see the top right is almost mined out. Everything in the bottom is mined out. So really all this comes down to is can Protoss push the top center and the mineral-only base and close this game out.
Well, he's got 3-2-3 upgrades. He's got quite a scary army. He's been maxed out for years. Look at this, 4.5K, 3K bank. It's insane.
Yeah.
And
Effort's
yeah,
just
like,
barely
here he
hanging
comes.
on.
I mean, that's a good amount of Hydras to pick off the Archons pretty quickly. So if he can pick off the Archons and kind of get some Dark Swarms down,
32 kills.
maybe there's still like a slight chance to hold this, but
no.
You can see his supply just falling off as Snow continues to push.
I think Effort's
Yeah.
dead. 3, 4-1.
There's like one lurker over here.
Pretty
A lot is coming
disappointing,
to
actually.
counterattack, but like this base is so important up here, and the drones are going to be pulled. Oh my God, some huge hits on the drones. And it just feels like Snow, as long as he keeps this
So it's
composition.
going to be Barracks versus Snow.
High Templars.
I'm pretty sure
Archons,
Barracks is going to get shit on by Snow.
You can push through. And Reavers, obviously.
Ooh, those
Dragoons are a
storms.
little bit obsolete because of Dark Swarm, but then, you
Yeah.
know, they stop making Defilers and Dark Swarming because there are no Dragoons.
Yeah, you're not seeing anywhere near as many Dark Storms now. It's really about getting those plagues out and utilizing those. Effort has re-expanded to 3 o'clock, so that's really important that he has that second base up and mining. I don't know, maybe he can retake that mineral base near his main where, you know, he's taken that like 3-4 times and Snow's killed it every single time. But Snow getting ready, I think, to hit this other mineral base, which is very sparse on defense.
Yeah, and this is where the bulk of all the drones are. The drones are all in just like one of 3 locations here. The base at 3 o'clock, and then the base in the main that's going to mine out any second now. Oh my God, these storms are just brutal.
Doesn't even get the
There's not
Reaver.
going to be enough Hydras, I think
that's
to
GG.
fight this off. Snow, I think, is going to 4-1 Effort. And by the way, what was a really close series? I mean, it's still close right now. It looks like he's barely going to fight this off anyways, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, Effort just barely still alive. His Hydra's not going to do anything under that Dark Storm against the Zealots. Definitely the wrong spell for this situation. Some more Zerglings going to come up here, but the Psy Storms are just endless as well. Such an impressive day here out of Snow. And it felt like Effort played well, and I would definitely say Effort played his own style, which is very fun to see. You know, he definitely has his own fingerprint in the matchup and the very decisive ways that he goes about playing. And he even shows here that this has been a very great defensive macro game. But Snow has grinded him down. This is exactly what we were talking about before, where it's like, as the game goes longer in this matchup, Snow probably should be favored. I think he's the best in this type of game.
I think so. He's really mastered this style of play. You know, I'm glad we got to see late game PvZ because so much of this was like Effort trying to avoid this whole phase of the game. But you can see Snow really is the best in the whole world at kind of the macro late game PvZ along with the push play. You know, I was saying at the start of this, it's probably going to be him winning with pushes because his pushes are so good. But this is one of the few moments it warrants you basically skipping the mid game entirely and going into single player, going into like SimCity and just taking the whole map. And
Snow might actually win this season.
Dude, this was I mean, you know,
I think it'll be Snow versus Soma in the finals.
Some of these games are very short, but man, oh man, what a close, intense series.
What a fucking...
a very worthy opponent.
That's why I love Starcraft, guys. You never
Snow
fucking
is
know.
just too good at that early game balancing act. Too good at getting a read.
And I think it was because Effort cheesed too much.
Tools that Protoss give you for Effort to ever stop.
I'll say I think that was one of the better.
Like when it doesn't work, just stop.
That I can really
he like
recall.
tripled
Oftentimes
down
the 4-1
on
feels very one-sided.
his
I don't.
his
that didn't feel super one-sided.
all-ins.
Yeah, Snow played better. Yeah, he deserves the victory. But you know what I mean? It feels more like a 4-2 where I'm satisfied with the match. I'm like, oh, that was good. That was competitive.
Yeah.
Although Snow did at the end of the day, you know, win 4 times as many games as Effort.
This is why I almost don't play StarCraft. I always get my ass handed to me. That's why I play against the computer, Raymond, and I still get my ass handed to me.
That are in all of the, I guess you could call them ladder maps, all of the, you know, what are the most common ASL.
The last time I
match.
played a
Snow is
game
too
on
strong.
stream, it got
So he's
another
gonna be
Zerg
going
put
up to face
put
offense players
hatchery
here
in my
the
base
Final
and just
Four
made
of
Zerglings
season
and killed me
20
when I
of
was
the
attacking
ASL.
him.
We're gonna go to
I
an
was like, yeah, I'm
interview
gonna
now and see how
win, and then all of a
it's
sudden like 12
going
Zerglings
at
came into
us.
my base,
We're
and I was
gonna
like,
go
wait,
to
what the
replay.
fuck? And I was like, oh, for
Yeah.
fuck's sakes, motherfucker put a
I love
hatchery
the
in my
amount of
base and I
Archons he
didn't
had
look.
in there. I think the Reaver usage was just right as well. Because sometimes we see people kind of forego the Reavers later on, but just adding in a few Reavers here really
Dude,
helped
some of
to
those
turn the
Archons
tides
had like
also.
30
Just
kills,
really
and some of
great
those
defense
Reavers had like
and,
30 kills.
from effort, but
This shit's insane.
not enough.
All
to
because of
stop the great
Zerglings.
unit compositions from Snow.
But still, that's like 1,500 fucking minerals and Zerglings.
Yeah, you can see this push out here. It's funny, you know.
Me and a
Dragoons
friend
were
went,
so
let's both
important in the
jump this
matchup
one
until
dude.
Dark
We
Swarm,
lost in 5
comes,
minutes.
and then you stop seeing Dragoons, and then you kind of stop seeing a lot of Defilers. It becomes all about Plague.
It's strength in overwhelming
It's funny
numbers,
how that works. There's
Raymondo.
sort of circular logic here with what counters what, until eventually it's all just massling Hydra. But you know, Snow played a really patient game, and you know I think he
was
traded
a hell
very
of
well
a
on his
game.
bases. It's actually insane what a fight Effort put up when you consider, you know, how much of the map Snow has.
Yeah,
which is
I thought it was
unheard
going
of
to
in
end
PvP.
way earlier, and there's
We're
going to be
finally
another
go to that
game.
interview now and see how Snow
When I
is
thought
feeling.
Effort was just going to push and win. But
And that does it for the
That's
second
it,
round
it's
of eight
over,
match
it's
of
done.
ASL Season 20.
That's all
As
it
with
took.
today's victory, this guy makes his 4th semifinals in a row. It's Snow. Congratulations.
Well, Snow is once
Thank you.
again seeded into the next tournament.
네, 이번 시즌 역시 같은
With an
모습을
incredibly
보여주고
stellar
있습니다.
performance all season long, you score your 4th appearance in
StarCraft
the round
players
4
don't
in a
play
row.
around.
How do you
No,
feel?
they do not.
It feels really good. My opponent was someone who plays really well. Honestly, I was feigning strength when in fact I was terrified. I'm glad I managed to win.
인터뷰에서 4대1, 4대1.
In the pre-game interview, you expected this to end with a 4-1 or 4-2 score, and you only ended up dropping the first map to your opponent after taking all the following sets. You were ahead in the early game of set 2 on Metropolis. How did you aim to win that game? I needed to win that first set, but I ended up losing it. I realized I definitely need to take the second one. I paid attention to my build for that one. I took care of the comminglings, and afterwards found myself with an advantage. So I kept making zealots just to maintain it.
그런데 오늘 상대 김정은
Right.
선수가
The
일반적이지
things that
않은
Effort came prepared with
See a
today
dude with
were
a Korean
anything but
name, and you go,
standard.
oh god, he's
How
gonna
was
kill
it
me in real
to
life.
face off
Yeah,
against that?
legit.
It was tremendously frightening. It was the kind of style where if I got flustered, I would not be able to hold off the things that needed to be held off. I think I was in quite a few dangerous situations, yeah.
그럼에도 불구하고 침착하게 잘
And regardless, you
나가는
dealt with it
모습이었습니다.
with a deal of composure. And so winning game 2, winning game 3, going into game 4 on Litmus, Effort tried to go for a backdoor attack, but you read into his intent. Could you explain that situation? Once I realized what was going on, I thought, everything's fine. But my Sim City was so messy. I got put on the back foot. It was a bit of a crisis situation. I actually thought I would end up losing, given how good of a player Effort is. And all of that, it just wasn't easy.
네, 쉽지 않았다고 계속해서
Snow keeps repeating how difficult things were. And with a victory in that 4th set, all of a sudden the score was 3-1. How did you steel yourself ahead of the final, the last set? I have this unique ability to suffer reverse sweeps when I'm ahead, especially if it goes to game 7. I don't think I've ever won a game number 7. So I knew that if this goes to set number 7, my mentality will be gone. I just knew I had to end it right there and then.
생각이 현실로 됐습니다. 그 마지막 5세트도
And this
결국
realization
승리를
became
가져갔는데요.
reality as you claimed
오늘
victory in the
저그전이랑
5th set as well.
완벽하게 된 것 같은가요?
Are you happy with how your training, your sparring against Zerg went today? It didn't go half bad. I just saw the screen and it said I lost all the games except the one against Action. If it hadn't been for the game against Action, it would have been all losses for me. I am happy being able to add one more win today. Seeing it was a Zerg you toppled today, I bet victory tastes even sweeter. Yesterday we saw Barracks as the first player advancing through as he awaits in the round of 4. You will once again meet in a best of 7 after 2 seasons since season 18. How do you think this semi-finals match will go? Let's start with how well Barracks plays. If we practice off-stream, I'm the one losing more. You know, even this time when I was preparing to play against Sharp, I was practicing with Barracks. I was not in the right frame of mind. I gave up all other practice and just focused on Terran. I think I've just run into a tremendously strong opponent. I'll prepare with the mindset of a challenger. Anytime you say you've been losing in practice, it actually instills fear. I can't wait to see how this round of 4 between you two turns out. Please address the colleagues who helped you practice for today, as well as the fans who supported you. Oh, you came prepared, didn't you? Yes.
Everyone's like, yeah, I'm just going to write it down on my phone, the people that helped me, so I don't forget anyone.
Go ahead. Okay, so Soma, Queen, BTS, Hero.
Queen, you helped him? Holy shit,
Lava.
dude. Thanks, Queen.
And
you really made it all worth it.
Thank you, guys. And a word for
helped him
well,
kill all of the other Zergs.
Right.
Maybe you'll help him kill Soma.
It's been like 5 years since I last made it into the finals. I am feeling very greedy this time around. I'll try and go to the finals. Oh, and also, my wife, for 3 days. Oh, it's been also emotional since yesterday. Take your time. Looks like she must have been very supportive. Oh, anytime I talk about my wife, I am so thankful. And words of gratitude to close things out, as we have just heard from Snow, our second player in the semi-finals. Once more, congratulations.
And then it's Best versus Soma?
And that does it for our interview with Snow.
Or is it Bisu versus Soma?
Well, there you have it, guys. Another day in the round
no,
of 8.
It's next is...
This time it's Snow defeating Effort 4-1.
It's Best versus Soma, and the last one is Bisu versus Larva. That's match 4.
The score showed that Snow is nearly impossible to kill. In fact, in the series, the only map he lost on was our very obtuse map with a bunch of islands.
Where we figured
Snow really
he probably
like
should have won that one.
Sorted out the PVZ bug, and that means he's going to go on into a PVT where he is the strongest player in the entire world, in the entire history of StarCraft, against the Dark Horse Barracks.
But we saw what Barracks did to Mini.
Yeah, so you never know, right?
Later on, afterwards, almost every build that he used, Flash gave him, which is why he was able to take out Mini. So Flash is going to be working overtime to give Barracks builds here for Snow. And it's hilarious.
Because Flash wants a Terran victory.
ASL this much, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe Flash can drive Barracks all the way to a championship.
That would be fucking crazy.
Yeah, right now Barracks is the vessel for Flash's build.
See, Soma versus Best and then Bisu versus
Flash
Larva.
will have warged into Barracks' mind.
So really, hopefully it gets posted before we end the stream, because I'd love to watch match 3.
Tender wrists. And that will be how Flash once again becomes a champion. The way that Game of Thrones should have ended. So next week we're going to have Soma versus Best.
It's next week. Okay, never mind.
It's going to be 2 more PVZs.
Okay.
As it's only Protosses and Zergs left here. Fingers crossed for the Zergs.
I wasn't sure if it was all 4 in a row or not.
And one of our 4 Protosses in the round of 4.
Well, I tell you, I've been looking at Soma and Snow as the 2 favorites of this season since the
beginning.
Here. And I think that that's what we're going to end up seeing at the end of the day here. But both these
I'm going to make coffee, but guess what? What, Callie? You're not going to drink it? It's decaf?
Giving Larva the last match, I think, is the best thing that could have happened to him.
It's decaf.
Bisu is not going to noticeably move his skill level in that time, because he's always super active.
D.
Larva
Fuck
might
you.
be able to. Larva is going to come in probably more prepared. Like, if he had the first match against Bisu, I give it to Bisu 100%. But having this last match, it gives him, like, an extra couple weeks from when it was drawn. And before he has to play. So, yeah, I think there's
hate
actually a chance here for Larva as he continues to get back into good shape.
It's decaf.
I think he's got a real
You said
shot.
that yesterday, Callie, or
Larva. I hadn't really
earlier?
thought about that, but,
I don't remember, but you
Summer
said
versus
something
Best
about
is gonna be
decaf.
crazy here too. I think Snow likely to get to the finals on.
Why would you drink
his side of the
decaf
bracket,
coffee? It
but I would
tastes
welcome a
horrible.
Barracks
What are you
upset.
doing
that
with
would be
yourself?
Crazy if he
Yeah.
got to the finals.
Coffee tastes
But
awful.
this is a much tougher side of the bracket to call. And I'm fine with any outcome. I'm fine with Soma versus Larva, Best versus Bisu. Or
Soma versus
some
Larva
mix
as
of
a
the PVCs
finals
that we
would
could
be
have
crazy.
here. I mean, they're very, very welcome.
Yeah, I think there's a huge range of what could be ending up here. And honestly, every single finals at this point looks really good. Like, what would the worst finals even be? It would be like Best Snow, and that would still be hype as hell because both of them deserve a championship, you know? So, yeah, like, I can't think of a bad outcome to this tournament anymore.
We are
Guys,
only
that's
in
all
the good
time we have.
timeline.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Hell
we
yeah.
hope you consider signing up for our Patreon. It's patreon.com/ASL English. Consider joining us. We will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Epic. What a time to be alive. Alright, I'm gonna go grab a drink. We got an ad coming up in here in a second, and then we will start. I guess I can now go back to